The following is a presentation of Wareham Gatemen Baseball, brought to you by the Gatemen Baseball Network in conjunction with the Cape Cod Baseball League.
As the summer of 2017 continues, the Wareham Gatemen are right in the middle of the Cape Cod Baseball League playoff race.
Line shot by Anchia. This one is back. It's far bye-bye baseball. A two-run homer for Jake Anchia.
Drive this one to deep right field. Heading back is Pompey. He's at the track, leaps and makes the play. What a play by Tristan Pompey.
Called strike three in the inside part. Griffin Roberts
swings and drives this one deep to left field. That one is into the trees.
With stellar pitching and timely hitting, Gatemen have taken the West Division by storm.
The 0-2 from Fioli, called strike three.
Throwing back to first base McIver, and the tag is in time from Sable.
Sends it to right field. Going back is the right fielder. That one's gone. Tanner Dodson.
And now, the push for Wareham's 8th league championship heats up.
Duran swings and hits this one through the gap. Rounding third and heading for home is John Topa. The throw to the plate is not in time, and Topa will score.
The breaking ball called strike three. Dalton Roach strikes out the side.
1-2. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts for Brett Canine.
Lines it right back up the middle for a base hit. On the first pitch, Baird rounds third. He's going to come home and score.
Metz sends it down the right field line. It's in for a base hit. Rounding third. Coming home is Duran. He will score. And the Wareham Gatemen are now winners of. It's in for a base hit. Rounding third. Coming home is Duran. He will score. And the Wareham Gatemen are now winners of 5 in a row. The Gatemen walk it off at Spillane Field. How do you like that?
It's Wareham Gatemen Baseball, and it's live on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Doran Park, the site of what will be one of the two most important games for Wareham's season as it comes down to the wire tonight with Game 1 of a home-and-home series with the Bourne Braves here in Bourne, Massachusetts on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Jacob Toby alongside Sam Corman, our sideline reporter Claudia Chikamian, and beat writer Matt Feld on hand as well. We will send you to Gatemen Pregame Live, presented by South Coast Health with our Connor Federico in just a moment. Sam, a tough loss for Wareham last night, 12-1 to the Falmouth Commodores. How can you come back from that one?
Well, you just got to turn the page, I guess, because last night's game was probably the least complete performance we've seen from Wareham all season long. Pitching, hitting, you name it, base running. It just was not good for Wareham yesterday. Defense as well was an issue with 2 errors against Falmouth yesterday. They gave up 12 hits to the Commodores and the long ball as well. I mean, you just got to turn the page and completely forget about it because these last 2 games become that much more important with yesterday's loss to the Falmouth Commodores. But it doesn't matter if you lost 12-1 or if you lost 1-0 yesterday to Falmouth. It's the same amount in the standings. It's 2 points for Falmouth, none for Wareham, and that's what makes it easy to come back from, I guess, for the Gatemen today against a team that they've had decent success against so far this season, highlighted by a 13-2 victory at Spillane Field about a month ago. So if they can continue that streak against Bourne and play close games. I mean, they've played a lot of close games with this team before, so you expect this one to be very tight until the finish, and it's just about being on the right side of the pitching in these games that are so close, and I think that will be the key for the Gatemen today in recovering from that loss especially.
It's been a long time since the Gatemen scored double-digit runs. Wareham 2-2 versus Bourne this season. The home-and-home series starts tonight to finish this season. How important are these 2 games against your rivals?
Well, it couldn't be much more important. You have to completely disregard the fact that Hyannis is playing in Falmouth and at home against Falmouth tomorrow. You have to basically make it seem like you control your own destiny, which is true for the Wareham Gatemen. If they can win one of these next 2 games, they are in the playoffs confirmed. And if they can win these next 2 games against Bourne, they can jump the Braves and get into 3rd place. So not all is lost for the Wareham Gatemen. They can still, move up a spot in the division and try to play maybe an easier opponent if Katuitt holds on to that second position, I think that the Gatemen would have much more success against the Kettleers than they would against the Commodores, but they're not worried about who they're playing. They're worried about getting in, and they can do that by just winning one of these next 2 games against Bourne. Forget about tomorrow, win tonight, and you're in the playoffs.
3 new players added to the Gatemen roster today, and 2 infielders and a pitcher. What can you expect out of these new guys?
Well, you're not going to see them in the lineup today, and you're probably not going to see these new pitchers in the lineup unless, of course, things go really wrong like they did yesterday, where we saw 3 new pitchers all go onto the hill for the Gatemen in that 12-1 loss. You saw Chris Weiss, you saw John Murphy, and you saw Darian Ragens, who came in from the New Bedford Bay Sox after their season ended. There were some positives. Chris Weiss got a 1-2-3 inning. Ragens did not give up a run in his inning in the 9th, so you hope that these new guys can come in and provide some depth into the bullpen. And for the new lineup guys, it's just for depth into the playoffs in case someone gets injured. The Gatemen have had some guys playing through some tough minor injuries, and if that gets any worse, then you have some guys to back up. And you didn't have that in the past few games, which is pretty ridiculous if you think about it. You rarely have a situation where there are no subs. You get Derpich, you get Ding Kong, and you get Tavares from their previous teams, 2 of them from the Danbury Westerners out in the NECBL in Connecticut, and they didn't make the playoffs this year, so they're really excited to get onto the Cape League. I talked to Derpich before the game, big first baseman, and really excited to be here, and has the power. I mean, Gatemen don't have that much power, so you have to wonder if Derpich can provide some power if he gets into the lineup at some point, whether it be today, tomorrow, or in the first round of the playoffs, should the Gatemen make it.
Sam, give it to me plain and simple. How do the Gatemen win tonight?
Oof, it's tough. I mean, Chad Lunsman, inexperienced starter on the mound. He's usually a bullpen guy, so the key for the Gatemen is to probably knock him out of the game, because he's going to be already in an uncomfortable position coming out as a starter as opposed to coming out of the bullpen. So if you can take advantage of that, score on Lunsman, and obviously have better offensive production than you did yesterday against the Falmouth Commodores pitching staff, they'll be in good shape, because Mason Fioli is probably their ace right now, I would say, on the hill. So, I would expect Fioli to have a good outing against this Braves lineup. It's a good lineup that they're fielding today, and if they can attack Lunsman, get him out of the game early out of Nebraska, they'll be in good shape. And these 2 games very important, because, like I said, if the Gatemen can come out with both wins, they move up into the 3rd position in the West Division.
Bourne on a 5-game losing streak. Can the Gatemen make it 6 tonight? We'll find out. Keep it locked into the Gatemen Baseball Network. Right now, we'll send it over to Connor Federico for Gatemen Pregame Live, presented by South Coast Health. Connor?
Hello, gentlemen. Connor Federico here with you, and we take it away from our Jacob Toby and our Sam Corman. They'll be on the call tonight. It should be a good one with the Bourne Braves playing the Wareham Gatemen. It's the 5th meeting between these 2 teams. The Gatemen have finished playing every other team in the league. They still have 2 more matchups against the Braves. The last matchup for the Gatemen last night, it was the last regular season meeting with the Falmouth Commodores, who could be likely a playoff opponent of the Gatemen. And man, it was a tough day for the Gatemen yesterday. It started off with a leadoff home run in the 1st inning for Clayton Daniel, and it only got worse from there. 1 run in the 2nd was scored off a Hunter Steinmetz RBI double. 2 runs came in the 3rd, one on a sac fly, and the other on a Josh Bro RBI single. Then in the 4th, 3 more runs for the Commodores. 1, Adley Rutschman scored on a passed ball, and then with 2 outs in the 4th inning, Trevor Larnick had a 2 RBI double that made him 3 for 3 at that point in the ball game. Then a 4-run 6th inning for Falmouth. Started with a leadoff home run from Josh Watson and turned into a sac fly wild pitch and an RBI groundout. Then 1 more run came in the 8th for Falmouth, before finally in the 9th, the Gatemen struck for their 1 run of the game, and it was against the left fielder, Austin Langworthy. A really awful day for the Gatemen, both offensively and on the mound. Overall, the Gatemen through Justin Montgomery, Barrett Lowski, Riley Gates, Chris Weiss, Murphy and Reagans. You already heard Jacob and Sam talk about them a little more, and it just wasn't great offensively. Only 5 hits on the contest as opposed to Falmouth, who had 12, matching exactly their 12 runs. It sends the Gatemen to 18-23 and 1 on the season. But one of the brighter spots of the game was Kyle Kasser, who was an admirable performer. 1 hit in 4 at-bats. That's about as good as any of the Gatemen could say they did yesterday. Our Claudia Chakamian's with him. Claudia.
Thank you, Connor. I'm joined with Kyle Kasser. So, Kyle, tough night for all of you last night. What do you think the biggest issue was in last night's loss, and how are you guys going to try and improve a certain part of the game today?
I mean, Falmouth came out and they were swinging it pretty well, and when a team gets a big lead on you like that, it's tough to come back from. But we weren't having that great of at-bats, and then when we were hitting the ball right at people, so things just didn't seem to go our way last night. But I mean, like Coach says, today's a new day, and just got to go out there and play hard, and we'll see what happens.
Did you guys try to change your approach to anything during batting practice today, really work on a specific part of your game to try and make things a little better tonight?
Not really, just kind of sticking to the daily process of getting better and whatever you can. But I mean, like I said, baseball is a crazy game. You can win by a lot one day and lose by a lot the next day. So you just got to stay consistent and just do what you do, and the results will happen.
Now, you guys have been playing the past few games shorthanded with position players, got some new additions today. They're not in the lineup, but what are you excited to see them do, and what's it like having new teammates for the last few games?
You know, it's awesome to meet new guys. I mean, coming from all different places and different schools, it's just nice to get to know people and just kind of develop those relationships, even though we might not have a whole lot of time left. But I mean, it's better late than never, so it's cool because you learn a lot from other players, just talking to them and their approach and just what they do. So it's cool it's always cool to meet new people.
Final road game of the season tonight here at Bourne. What has this experience been like for you so far in the Cape?
It's been so awesome. I've never been to this part of the country, and it's been cool to get around the Cape a little bit, and obviously playing in one of the top leagues around. It's been a blessing, and it's been such a fun experience meeting new people and just playing this game of baseball. It's just nothing better you could ask for. And
finally, you guys are so close to clinching that final playoff spot in the West. So what are you guys hoping to accomplish over these next 2 games against Bourne?
You know, we just need one game. We need to win one of these 2, but we just got to take a pitch at a time. Can't worry about what Ioannis is doing. We can't worry about tomorrow. We just got to focus on today and take it a pitch at a time, and we'll see what happens.
Great. Thank you, Kyle. Back to you, Connor.
Thank you very much, Claudia. You heard Kyle Kasser say it right there. Take it a day at a time, and today might be the day where the Gatemen clinch the 8th and final playoff berth in the Cape Cod Baseball League. We'll get to the Gatemen and the Braves coming up on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgentcare. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgentcare.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen Youth Clinics. The instruction clinics are open to boys and girls between ages 4 and 15. The clinics are a great opportunity to meet and learn from some of the best collegiate players in the country. Clinics are held Monday through Friday, depending on the player's off day. For more information and to sign up your young ball player, visit www.gatemen.org. Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen High School Clinics. These programs are run by the Gatemen coaching staff with a focus on exposing high school area players to the college game. To sign up for either the hitting, pitching, or catching camps, visit www.gatemen.org for more information.
Welcome back to the Gatemen Baseball Network. It's the Gatemen and the Braves tonight from Doran Park. I'm Connor Federico with you for Gatemen Pregame Live, presented by South Coast Health, and we're just getting ready for first pitch, and that first pitch tonight will be thrown from Chad Linsman, number 38 of the Bourne Braves. He's a returner in 2016, had a 5-2 record overall. One of those wins came in the playoffs against the Wareham Gatemen. This season, however, a 4.58 ERA, just a little better than his 4.86 ERA from last summer, has mostly been a reliever, as the guys talked about at the top of the broadcast. Has 3 saves this summer with a 1-1 record. This will be his first start and his 11th appearance overall. 18 strikeouts in just about 18 innings. On the other side, for the visiting Wareham Gatemen, from Coventry, Rhode Island, it's Mason Fioli. The freshman from UConn just had a stellar spring with 7 wins. That led the Huskies. He's been here all summer, was the opening day starter, got a loss against Hyannis back on June 14th, but has been better as of recently. Got his first win on July 19th against Brewster, and has since lost one on July 23rd against the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. Overall, a 1-2 record, 3.48 ERA. This will be his 6th start of the summer, 22 strikeouts in 20 2/3 innings. To talk about how the Gatemen will go after Chad Linsman and try to win tonight, our Claudia Chakamian is with Don Sneddon.
Thank you, Connor. I'm here with head coach Don Sneddon. So, Coach, really tough night last night. What did you think was the biggest issue in last night's loss?
Pitching. I mean, we didn't pitch well and they hit well, and that happens in baseball on occasion. Can't ever really figure out why it happens. It just does happen, and obviously we got spanked pretty hard with that. It didn't matter who was pitching. They were hitting balls out, and the biggest disappointment was I thought their pitching was average pitching, and we didn't hit. And that's what happens, and you end up with a lopsided score like that.
So what are you hoping you can get from Mason Fioli today on the mound?
Well, obviously we need a huge performance, and we're not a high-scoring club, as everybody knows. So he's going to have to keep them at bay, and hopefully we can produce some runs here and get a win.
Now, we talked about this a lot. You take everything one game at a time. You don't really change your approach. But was there anything today during practice that you wanted to see differently?
Nope. We just, again, that's been our motto, and it'll be all the way to the end, no matter whether you're playing for the championship game or playing today or playing tomorrow. If we were out of it, it doesn't make any difference. I told these guys they're all professionals, and they have to play the game with respect and play it the way it's meant to be played, so don't disrespect the game.
Now you finally have the new additions to the team. Pretty late, we were talking about that during batting practice, how tough it is to come into this situation. But what are you hoping you can get from these new guys?
Well, peace of mind, number one, that I have somebody to go to in case there's an injury or in case I need a pinch hit or something like that, or to run. It's pretty scary to coach with just 9 players. It's not fun. I didn't enjoy that part of that.
And we know that Hyannis is still in the background for that final position or playoff spot, competing with you guys. How are you guys trying to take these next 2 games, not worrying about what they're doing, to just play your game and hopefully get that spot?
Well, we defer back to our comments earlier we just talked about. You play one game at a time. Doesn't matter if we're ahead or behind or in first place or last place. We're going out to win this game, and it doesn't matter that we lost yesterday. It doesn't matter that we won yesterday. You got to come out and prove yourself today.
Thank you, Coach. Back to you, Connor.
Thank you very much, Claudia, and let's get to tonight's starting lineups presented by Chatham Bars Inn. Batting first for the Gatemen in left field today, it's Stephen Kwan. Batting second, Robbie Metz is in center field tonight. Kyle Kasser plays third base and bats third. Jaron Duran bats second and is in the 4 spot. John Topa will bat fifth. He's in right field for the first time. Jake Anchia DHs and bats sixth. Willie McIver is tonight's catcher. He bats 7th. Blake Sable bats 8th, wears number 4, and plays first base. Ben Baird, number 3, is the shortstop. The starter on the mound for the Gatemen is Mason Fioli. On the Bourne Braves side, Anthony Prado is the shortstop, bats first. Grant Williams bats second and plays second base. Lyle Lynn is tonight's DH. He bats third. Richie Palacios, a speedster, in the 4 spot. Similar to the Gatemen, he plays left field. Scott Schreiber, he bats 5th. plays first base. Jamison Hanna is the center fielder and bats sixth. Jared Triolo bats seventh and is at third base. Grant Witherspoon, number 22, is in right field, and rounding out the lineup, Kevin Radowitz, number 17, does the catching. The starter is Chad Lintzman. Here at the Gatemen Baseball Network, we'd like to remind you, you can follow us anytime on social media by following at Wareham Gatemen on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud, and YouTube. You can also send us any questions, comments, or concerns, or just tell us we're doing a great job. We'd love to hear that at pressbox@gatemen.org. And to talk about some of a bit of a lineup shakeup today in terms of the outfield, it'll be Stephen Kwan in left, Robbie Metz in center field, John Topa in right field. We bring on our Matt Feld. Hello, Matt.
Hello, how are we? What a gorgeous day.
Matt, please answer me. Why is Robbie Metz in center field tonight?
Well, I don't know exactly why the positioning was changed. You know, head coach Don Seddon touched base with Robbie Metz a couple of days ago to see if he could play center field. He played center field a couple of occasions last summer for the Gatemen en route to playing 7 of the 9 positions on the diamond in last year. He's got tape on his wrist. He's had that for about 2 weeks. He hurt his wrist diving and making a making a terrific catch in right field. Jacob Toby's fault on that for the popcorn kernel. And he got a little and re-injured it, but he's going to play. Head coach Don Seddon does not feel like rushing these new guys in. So John Topa moves to right. Stephen Kwan, who's been dealing with a bit of a sore knee, moves to left field, has to cover a little bit of less ground out there. And so he moves to left field, gives the Gatemen a bit of a different looks in the defensive alignment.
It is the 4th night that we'll see the same starting 9 in the lineup, but there are other guys that are here now that we might see over the next couple of days. What can you tell us about the new additions?
Yeah, the Gatemen get some insurance behind the plate, at the plate, and Joe Durpich for first baseman, who is up in Danbury early in this year, had a great season for the NECBL. And had a really nice summer for them. Hit .345 back at school, 10 homers, 41 RBIs. And they also get some middle infield and Randy Tavares, and in the outfield with Joe DeKong, and that is Giovanni DeKong, and that's going to be just really big insurance coming off the bench, being able to pinch hit. And if the Gatemen can clinch tonight, I'd expect to see all 3 in the lineup tomorrow. Give Willie McIver a break. Ben Baer needs a rest. He's played every day the past week. Kyle Castor seems to be in the lineup every single game, so it's just going to be able to give these guys a bit of a day off if they're able to clinch today, and that makes clinching today so much more important.
Thank you very much, Matt. We're going to take a quick break on the Gatemen Baseball Network. You're listening to Gatemen Pregame Live, presented by South Coast Health.
When you're sick or injured, you want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgentcare. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgentcare.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen Youth Clinics. The instruction clinics are open to boys and girls between ages 4 and 15. The clinics are a great opportunity to meet and learn from some of the best collegiate players in the country. Clinics are held Monday through Friday, depending on the player's off day. For more information and to sign up your young ball player, visit www.gatemen.org. Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen High School Clinics. These programs are run by the Gatemen coaching staff with a focus on exposing high school area players to the college game. To sign up for either the hitting, pitching, or catching camps, visit www.gatemen.org for more information.
Nice ceremony here at the Bourne Braves as Stephen Williams, one of the umpires for tonight, looks like he'll be behind the plate. He just received the Cape League Umpire of the Year award, and that is quite the prestigious honor. So many umpires around the league that are all vying to make it big someday, make it to the majors themselves, just like some of these players. So we're just about ready for game time. And right before the national anthem, we'll send it to our Jacob Toby and Sam Corman. Gentlemen, have a fun game.
Thank you very much, Connor Federico. Jacob Toby along with Sam Corman here at Doran Park in Bourne, Massachusetts. The Wareham Gatemen coming in 18, 23, and 1. Fourth place in the West, facing the Bravos, as they say, 20 and 22, 40 points in the West in third place. Pretty important home-and-home series for these two teams.
Undoubtedly, this is where the grind ends in the regular season here, and Bourne has set themselves up nicely to be in third place right now, but they can throw it all away if they lose both these games to the Gatemen. They're back into fourth, and you have to watch the top of the standings. Right now it's kind of three separate battles you kind of think about in the West Division. You have the battle for first between Falmouth and Kitsui. You have the battle for third between Bourne and Wareham, and then you have the battle for the final playoff spot between Wareham and Hyannis right now. Of course, Wareham is steadily in the driver's seat with the Harbor Hawks. The only way the Harbor Hawks get into the playoffs is if they beat the very good Falmouth Commodores 2 days in a row, today and tomorrow, and they get some help from Bourne getting 2 wins over Wareham today and tomorrow. So it's really interesting stuff down the stretch. A lot more interesting than the not so wild East Division, where basically things are all set over there, and you have Orleans and YD and Chatham and then Brewster in the first 4 positions. So it'll be very, very interesting to see what happens with all these West Division teams over the next 2 games today and tomorrow.
What do you make of that, though? The Eastern Division was set almost 2 weeks ago, and the West coming down to the final 2 games.
Well, it's some parity. I mean, the West Division has been pretty even all year. Even Wareham, sitting at 18-23 and 1 on the season, they were, on a 5-game win streak, and we're right up there with the leaders among the division. And all of a sudden, the 7-game losing streak drops them out of the picture. But you have the top 2 teams right now battling hard for the division title. Until yesterday or the day before, Bourne was well into that race as well for the division crown. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it comes down for the last 2 games here. And the Gatemen got to come out and play their best baseball of the season with a lot on the line.
And how about the Harbor Hawks, though? They are fighting for their lives, their playoff lives. They, since the beginning of the season, have led the league in run differential negatively. Coming into this game today, negative 75 for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, but they come off the 8-6 win versus Harwich, and they are just pecking at the Wareham Gatemen right now, hoping that they lose 2 and they win 2.
And they lost a few good players, too. Robert Newstrom out of Iowa. They lose Jake Mangum out of Mississippi State. Those are big losses in that Hyannis lineup, and they've been able to overcome that and have a really good end of the season so far. They were well out of this playoff race, and all of a sudden, with some wins and some help from the Gatemen, they're right back into it. And they have a really tough test ahead of them because they're playing arguably the best team in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Not by record, but by roster. That is the Falmouth Commodores.
The leading batter in the CCBL before going home was Tanner Dodson. He was .417 batting average versus the Bourne Braves this season. With the lineup change tonight in the outfield, is that an effect of Dodson going home?
I don't think so. I think it's pretty interesting, this lineup change. You have Stephen Kwan, who's misjudged a few fly balls in center field over the past few days. I think maybe that has an effect on him moving over to left. And you have John Topo, who can basically play anywhere in the outfield. He's been a solid defensive guy all season long. And you have Robbie Metz, who's been playing really well since entering right. They want to promote him to center field and see what he can do up the middle of the field, where a majority of those balls end up in the outfield. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out today.
We will send it now to the national anthem of the United States of America.
the Braves are excited to welcome Alice Howe to Durham Park to perform tonight's anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Throwing out tonight's ceremonial first pitch.
Safe to say that she beat me by a mile on the national anthem.
Well, you've done how many? 3 this year?
2. No, 3. You're right.
2 in Katuitt, right?
You're right. You're right. You're right.
1 at Wareham.
You're right.
You've gotten better and better each time, Jacob. And we expect next year, if you decide to return for a national anthem or whatnot, a little acoustic guitar to go along with it.
I've thought about it. I just don't know technically how it could work out with the cords going long way. I don't have a wireless setup.
Let's have Matt Weasel there, our producer, set you up with that.
I'd love to do a acoustic guitar / singing national anthem. Be pretty fun. A lot of festivities here before this game today as the season winds down. League awards are being announced. We just got word that Grayson Genista of the Katuitt Cavaliers was named League MVP.
League MVP? I thought there were 2 separate division MVPs. Was I wrong?
No, there is a league MVP. That is just for the All-Star game.
Okay, so Grayson Genista, very worthy of that league MVP honors. There are definitely a few other names that stick out when you think of that award. You have Stephen Scott with the Orleans Firebirds, as well as Jimmy Herron with the Orleans Firebirds. But Genista certainly deserving of that award. And how about that? A Missouri Valley Conference player in Wichita State getting awarded with a Cape Cod League MVP. That is awesome stuff for Genista, even after his Wichita State teammate Alec Boehm goes down with a late injury. That might have hurt his chances at winning that award. So good stuff from Grayson Genista. He's been phenomenal all season for the Katuitt Cavaliers, and their top of the lineup is loaded with Griffin Conine right above him and him hitting in the 2-hole. They're pretty set, especially with Michael Tolia out of UCLA, the cleanup guy, playing really, really well recently. That Katuitt lineup is locked and loaded for the CCBL playoffs for sure.
Lineup for the Wareham Gatemen goes like this. Stephen Kwan in left field tonight. Robbie Metz batting second in center. Kyle Kasser at third, batting third. Jaron Duran, the second baseman. John Topa in right field tonight. Jake Anchia doing the DHing. Willie McIver is the catcher, batting seventh. Blake Sable at first, batting eighth. Ben Baird is your shortstop. He bats ninth. The defense for the Bravos goes like this. Jared Triolo is at third. Anthony Prado, the shortstop. Grant Williams, the walk-off hero, at second. Scott Schreiber is at first. Left to right in the outfield, Richie Palacios, Jamison Hanna, Grant Witherspoon, Kevin Radzuich doing the catching for Chad Linsman.
Yeah, Chad Linsman, an interesting choice to start this game for the Bourne Braves because he's not necessarily a starting pitcher out of the University of Nebraska in Lincoln, and he's been a bullpen guy for the most of this season. This is his first start of the season, and he has 3 saves in 10 appearances this year, and has done a nice job. 18 strikeouts, just 4 walks among his 17 2/3 innings for Linsman this season, and it'll be a different taste for him on the mound.
Kwan showing bunt on the first pitch like he usually does. It's in for strike one on a fastball, and we're underway at Dorn Park. Stephen Williams, the home plate umpire. Chris Kane at first, Will Bowers at second and third tonight. Second pitch is hit foul off to the left. Ricochets back onto the field. Wareham in their red uniforms today. Cranberry, as you would call them. The blue numbers, gray pants. And Bourne in their home white jerseys with red numbers and red trim around.
Yeah, new look on the road. The Gatemen have not worn anything but the navy blue on the road this year.
0-2 pitch to Kwan is hit foul to the left again and out of play. And the wind is howling tonight.
Yeah, so much wind that it's blowing basically every single paper left uncovered off this table.
The challenge with the wind, but we go on. Here comes Linsman's 0-2 pitch, and connected with this one out to center field. Hannah under it to make the catch for out number one. Up comes Robbie Metz. 282, no home runs and 7 RBIs for the returner, Robbie Metz.
Really important for the Gatemen to get off to a good start today. You saw what happened yesterday after, not only the hitting but the pitching got off to a rough start, and that kind of derailed the entire game from the first inning on.
Linsman's first pitch at the at-bat swung on and missed on a fastball up high. Linsman 6'3", 225 pounds, throws from the right side out of Nebraska. 0-1 pitch is taken a bit low. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Big leg kick for Chad Linsman. 2 big leg kicks going up against each other today. You'll see Mason Field. He's in the bottom half of the inning, and that is one of the highest leg kicks I have ever seen out of a college pitcher. Dontrell Willis is what I'm reminded of when I see Mason Field's delivery.
1-1. Fastball frame from the catcher Radjuwitz, and it's in for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Metz, who yesterday went 1 for 4, excuse me. The pitch outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kyle Kasser is on deck right now waiting for his at-bat. 2-2 pitch is a high fastball. Cut on and missed by Robbie Metz. Quick 2 outs. Top of the first, no score at Doran Park.
Kyle Kasser.
Well, Robbie Metz chasing the pitch out of the zone. The Gatemen were very aggressive early in the count against Cody Shelton out of Samford and the rest of the Falmouth pitching staff yesterday, but it wasn't working. They were grounding out a lot, and it'll be interesting to see what their approach is today after kind of, keeping Cody Shelton's pitch count down yesterday while also not getting any production out of their lineup.
Kasser stepping in from the left side. First pitch bounces to the backstop. Radjuwitz, the catcher, couldn't handle it. Kasser on the year, 296, no home runs, 13 RBIs. 1 for 4 yesterday versus the Commodores. Connects with this one on to the shortstop, Prado, on the run, on the infield, makes the throw over in time to retire Kasser. The Gatemen, they go 1, 2, 3. We are headed to the bottom of the first. No score here at Doran Park on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
When you're sick or injured, you want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgentcare. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgentcare.
The Down East Lobster Roll combos are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Back at Doran Park, no score between the Gatemen and the Braves. Jacob Toby with Sam Corman. And the Bourne lineup goes like this. Anthony Prado, the shortstop, batting first. Grant Williams, the second baseman, in the 2-hole. Lyle Lynn, the DH. Richie Palacios in left field. Scott Schreiber, the first baseman. Jamison Hanna, the center fielder. Jerry Triolo at third. Grant Witherspoon batting eighth, the right fielder. Kevin Radzewicz, the catcher, batting ninth. And the defense for the Gatemen goes like this. Kyle Kasser is at third. Ben Baird, the shortstop. Jaron Duran at second. Blake Sable at first. Left to right in the outfield, Stephen Kwan, Robbie Metz, John Topo, William McIver doing the catching for Mason Fioli. The high leg kick. Lefty delivers first pitch to Prado outside for ball one.
Mason Fioli has just gotten better and better as the season's gone on. His last outing was a true test.
Second pitch at the at-bat, flared out to shallow right center field, and it falls right in front of Metz. So Prado is on for the first time today.
Fioli's last outing was a true test against the Falmouth Commodores, probably the most, consistent lineup top to bottom, and Fioli in that outing went 4 strong innings, only gave up 4 hits, did not give up any earned runs at Go Fuller Field, and unfortunately did not get the run support. Run support has been an issue when Fioli's on the mound this season. He very easily could have a few more wins in the bag, if not for the hitting.
Fioli, first pitch in the dirt to Grant Williams. Williams, 320, no home runs and 9 RBIs. Fioli on the hill, the lefty out of UConn, 6'2", 184. Runner on first. Here comes the 1-0 pitch, taken for strike one. Williams, of course, had success the last time the Gatemen were here at Doran Park. The walk-off hit. Fioli fakes the throw over to first, and Prado scurries back quickly.
Yes, the rain game, in which we didn't think that was going to be played.
1-1 pitch, chopped in the box off of Williams' foot. He has to walk it off to the right of home plate. Meanwhile, William McIver will go out to talk to Mason Fioli. Our position today, behind home plate, off to the right, down the first base line.
This is one of the best seats we have on any away ballpark for sure here at Doran Park. Not much room behind home plate here in the backstop, and that gives us a nice close angle of the batter's box. Mason Fioli, his last outing in Falmouth and in Brewster 2 outings ago, his fastball has really been just blowing by hitters, and we'll see if he continues that.
1-2, high chopper down the first base line, and it's foul. Sable had the glove on it, ready to try and turn the double play. Ruled foul by Chris Kane, the first base umpire today. Williams stands 5'10", 180 pounds in the box. One-two pitch. Breaking ball up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. With Prado, the runner, at first. No outs, bottom of the first. No score at Doran Park. 2-2. Framed by McIver, just missing outside. The count runs full.
And kind of like a Jake Anchia, Grant Williams coming from a Kennesaw State. It is a D1 school, but not high profile. He's done a really nice job for them this season.
3-2 fouled off to the netting behind home plate, which protects us.
He's been really productive. Williams, middle of the lineup guy, and you like to get that kind of production out of a guy from a school that you maybe wouldn't expect him to have that much success in the Cape Cod League.
3-2 is low, ball 4. Now the first 2 runners are on base here for the Bourne Braves, and Lyle Lynn coming up. He's the DH. Lynn, 297 in 35 games this summer with Bourne. No home runs and a team-leading 19 RBIs.
Dangerous part of the order for the Bourne Braves. Lyle Lynn, followed by, one of Connor's favorite in the league, Richie Palacios, out of the Hamptons League last year.
Fioli looks back, the runner at second. First pitch to Lynn is in for strike one. Lynn coming into this game tied 12th in the league in hits with 38. Prado, the runner at second. Williams, the runner at first. Fioli delivers. This one is chopped in the infield over to Baird at short. They go to second for one. Duran will not try and turn the double play. So Williams is retired at second base for out number one. Prado will advance to third. Lynn to first on the fielder's choice.
Smart play by Jaron Duran, not firing that ball over to first. Lyle Lynn has some speed over there, even though he's a catcher, but he's done a really nice job, Duran, on defense all season long, showing decision-making so important, not making that throw. We saw that yesterday in a certain situation about Jaron Duran's decision-making.
Palacios takes a breaking ball for strike one. Palacios batting from the left side, 280. 1 home run, 13 RBIs. Prado, the runner, at third. Lynn at first. 1 out, no score, bottom of the first. 0-1, grounded up the middle into center field for a base hit. Scoring is Anthony Prado. Richie Palacios, an RBI single. 1-0 Bourne. Here comes the tomahawk chop.
Yes, the tomahawk chop. So prominent here at Doran Park. And the fans all join in unison to, bring their elbows from a 90-degree angle all the way out to a 180-degree angle, then back to a 90-degree angle. That is how you perform the tomahawk chop.
Scott Schreiber, the first baseman, batting from the right side with 2 runners on. And 1 out, ball 1 from Mason Fioli. Schreiber, 234, 2 home runs, 15 RBIs. Lynn, the runner, at second. Palacios at first. 1-0 from Fioli is low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Scott Schreiber is a guy that you can really work outside of the strike zone against. He only has 2 walks this season. Likes to swing out of the strike zone, but Fioli right now behind in the count. Needs to now attack inside the strike zone to work his way back.
Pitch fouled off to the right and out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike to Schreiber, who bats .235 against the Gatemen this season with 3 RBIs. A 1-0 lead for Bourne. Bottom of the first. 2-1 pitch is inside. Great hitter's count here for Schreiber with 2 runners on and only 1 out.
He's going to look for a pitch to smack. Schreiber has some power to his game, and you can tell by the size, the stature from the right batter's box. And this is the part where Fioli needs to regain his command.
3-1, out to left, falling fast, base hit. They are going to send Lynn. The throw, not in time, trying to double back up at second. That's not in time. Second run scores. Scott Schreiber, RBI single, 2-0 Bourne.
This is awfully too familiar. Bad start for the Gatemen in the top half of the first. Not only do they go 1, 2, 3, but they, only see about 10 total pitches from Chad Linsman, and then in the bottom half, the pitching from Mason Fioli kind of getting whacked around by the Bourne lineup. And it's a lineup that struggled recently. You mentioned they lost 5 in a row. And it's kind of surprising.
Jamison Hanna, the center fielder, batting from the left side. Takes a breaking ball for strike 1 from the lefty Fioli. A quick 2-0 lead for the Bravos at Doran Park. Hanna 258, 1 home run, 13 RBIs. 0-1 pitch. On a line, past the glove of Sable at first and into right. Now they're going to send Palacios home. The throw to the plate, not in time. Jamison Hanna an RBI single, the third straight in this inning. 3-0 Bourne.
Well, hit number 4 for the Bourne Braves here in the first, and Jim Lawler now going out to the mound, of course. But, you know, this lineup has been struggling recently. Hanna had his first home run of the season a few days ago against the Katuitt Kettleers. He hit a grand slam, and then in the bottom half of that inning, Katuitt responded with a grand slam of their own to kind of even it out. So that's something that you rarely see, is consecutive grand slams, top half and then the bottom half. But right now, this game is kind of immediately just starting to get away from the Wareham Gatemen in the first inning.
Send it over to Connor Federico for a quick score update. Connor?
Hey, Jacob and Sam, it's 3-0 here for Bourne, but some good news for the Gatemen. It's 2-0 Falmouth in the second inning. 1 run in the first, a George Yancha single RBI, and then Hunter Steinmetz just had an RBI double to score Cam O'Neill. Falmouth 2-0 over Hyannis.
Thank you very much. Jared Triolo, the third baseman, coming to the plate, batting from the right side, facing Fioli. Still 1 out in the inning. First pitch strike delivered by the Yukon product, coming off his freshman season. One of the younger ones we have in the CCBL.
A lot of bright future ahead for Mason Fioli. Only a rising sophomore.
0-1 on the ground. Baird picks it on the ground to second for 1 to first. Double play. Gatemen get out of the inning. Not before the Braves. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 2 men left on base. It is Bourne 3, Wareham nothing. We head to the second here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Listen to the game wherever you go with the Next Radio app. Catch this station's local broadcast or stream all the action right on your phone. Visit the Google Play Store and download the free Next Radio app today.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1991, holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 through 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, plus 400 have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Friendly's Restaurants, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to be the official ice cream of the Cape Cod Baseball League and bring together 2 of America's favorite pastimes, baseball and ice cream.
Well, Chad Linsman has a great lead to work with in the top of the second. A 3-0 lead for Bourne over the Wareham Gatemen. It'll be 4-5-6 for Wareham. Jaron Duran to lead it off here in the second inning.
Well, the time is now for the Wareham Gatemen. Now that they're down 3-0, they still have a chance to work themselves back in this game, obviously. It's only the second inning.
First pitch from Linsman, taken for strike 1. Duran 271, no home runs and 10 RBIs. A 1, slicing foul down the third base line. Just missing the head of third base coach Jimmy Francos as he leans to his left.
Chad Linsman only threw 11 pitches in the first inning, and that's not going to cut it for the Gatemen lineup. Extend the count, work the pitcher more, and you can maybe wear him down a little bit, make him throw strikes. Right now 0-2 on Duran quickly.
Wareham trying to wear him down. 0-2 pitch to Duran. Checked his swing, didn't go around. The pitch was low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. How'd you like that one?
It was a good pitch. Very good 0-2 pitch. Just out of the strike zone. Very tempting spot for Jaron Duran to go after that one. But an even better job by number 10 in red, holding off.
Linsman shaking off a couple pitches. Now he deals the 1-2, and Durant connects with it out to center for the base hit. So Durant is on. The first hit for the Gatemen coming here in the top of the second. Linsman, this is his first start on the season. A 1-1 record. 4.58 ERA. 18 strikeouts, 4 walks. He will now face John Topa.
Topa's been slumping recently a little bit, but you expect him to eventually find...
Topa takes strike one.
Eventually find the gaps in the outfield. He's been making some better contact recently, but he's been popping up recently. He was better off earlier in the season when he was, finding the gaps in the infield. That's what he's best at, is hitting hard ground balls.
The 0-1, chopped, right back to the mound. Linsman throws to first and retires Topa. Duran will advance to second. That ball, pretty high chopper in the infield.
Yeah, that first bounce went about 20 feet in the air, and it gave John Topa a chance to try to beat that out, but unfortunately right back to the pitcher Linsman. Easy stuff for him. I don't even think Jaron Duran would have beaten that one out.
Jake Anchia is DHing after a rough start behind the plate last night versus the Commodores. Now he's got a runner in scoring position. Duran at second. First pitch is a breaking ball low in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. A 3-0 lead for Bourne. The top of the second. Anchia, 235, 5 home runs and 19 RBIs. Leads the team in both home runs and ribbies. And he gets drilled in the back. And he feels this one. Rolls his eyes. Taking off the gloves as he jogs down to first. So now the Gatemen have 2 runners on with 1 out.
Opportunity for the Wareham Gatemen with 1 out. And this guy would really like to get a clutch hit. He started the season red hot. Got himself out to the top of the leaderboard in terms of CCBL runs batted in, but then it's kind of had a rough last few weeks, and you expect him to recover at some point. Although the thing with this Gatemen lineup is a lot of them are just so tired because there's no guys behind them that it just makes it tough on all of them.
McIver, runner will head to third. The throw down is in time. Duran caught stealing third on the first pitch delivered to William McIver. 2 gone.
Well, really good throw there from the catcher, Kevin Radziewicz. And I hate to call out an umpire, but second base umpire today was not really in position to make that call. He was kind of over near second base and was quite a distance from the third base bag to make that call.
1-0 to McIver. Fouled off himself in the box.
If I see Duran heading over to third as the umpire, I'll be chasing him down as fast as I can. Obviously, I don't expect him to have the same speed that Jaron Duran has.
McIver, 261, 2 home runs, 16 RBIs. Tied 10th in the league in runs scored at 23. McIver connects with this one on to the shortstop Prado. To second base for the force, retiring Anchia to end the inning. The Gatemen, they get no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the second. Bourne 3, Wareham nothing. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
We appreciate and thank the sponsors who support the Cape League and the 10 teams. Our corporate sponsors are the financial backbone of the league. It is with their support that we are able to preserve our long-standing tradition of providing the best family entertainment here on Cape Cod. On behalf of the visiting team, the Wareham Gatemen, league officers, and the entire Cape League family, we would like to announce and thank our 2017 corporate sponsors. With much appreciation, we recognize the Yawkey Foundation, Chatham Bars Inn, the Fuller Family Foundation, Dunkin' Donuts, Curry College, Cape Cod Healthcare, the 99 Restaurants, Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod Potato Chips, Friendly's Ice Cream, Baseball Factory, Cape and Island License Plate, 47 Brand, Cape Cod 5 Cents Saving Bank, Stop and Shop, Peapod. We'll be back to you in the next inning for the second half of this outstanding list of loyal sponsors.
Back at Doran Park, Jacob Toby with Sam Corman. The Wareham Gatemen trailing 3-0 early on to the Bourne Braves, bottom of the second. It'll be 8-9-1 for Bourne. Grant Witherspoon, the right fielder, to lead it off. First pitch from Fioli, connected with but sent foul down the first base line.
Grant Witherspoon, the second of 2 Grant W's in this Bourne lineup, of course, sort of Tulane.
You love that, don't you? 0-1 pitch. Curveball hanging out to left center field. It falls. Rounding first and stopping with a big turn is Witherspoon. Maybe thought about going for 2, but he's on first. So for the second consecutive inning, the leadoff hitter is on with a single. Kevin Radzewicz, the catcher, now up to the plate. Witherspoon, his nickname around here and back at school at Tulane, is Spoon. They say that whenever he comes up to the plate as Radzewicz takes ball 1. Daniel Bees, one of the pitchers for Bourne, did an interview for a story put up a couple days ago saying that he's the biggest fan, calling him Spoon. This one connected with, past Kasser at third and past Baird at short. Another single. And it's first and second for Bourne.
Finding the gap in the left side of the infield. Good piece of hitting by Radzewicz. Nothing Kasser could do about that, and nothing Baird could do based on their positioning. And now all of a sudden, Bourne with a chance to break this game open, and, you know, the bullpen really could not afford for.
First pitch is low, inside to Prado, ball 1.
The bullpen really can't afford to, you know, pitch 7 innings or 8 innings or 6 innings today. They would like to see Mason Fioli get a little bit further into this game, but right now, Bourne's just doing a nice job finding the pitches in the strike zone. And they've just been hitting really well.
1-0 from Fioli is low again. 2 balls and no strikes. Prado singled and scored in the first.
You know, it doesn't look like Fioli's command is that much of an issue. He is falling behind in some counts, but it just seems like Bourne's hitters have really been able to find his fastball and just size it up pretty easily.
Fioli looks back, the runner at second. Fastball up and in. 3 balls and no strikes. This prompts McIver to have a conversation on the mound with Fioli. Conversation ends quickly. 3 balls and no strikes. Dalton Roach is up in the Wareham bullpen. .3-0 pitch to Prado is low, ball 4. No outs, and the bases are loaded. So Witherspoon to third, Radzewicz to second, and Prado to first for Grant Williams, who walked in the first. And again, no outs as Wareham trails 3-0 already in this ball game. First pitch is outside for ball 1.
Well, I guess Bourne decided to bring up their production since the 5-game losing streak, because their hitting has been really impressive. I don't think it's just on Fioli right now.
1-0. A high fly ball. Jaron Duran will make the catch. Infield fly rule was in effect there. So Duran at second puts away Williams for out number 1.
Big out, exactly what Mason Fiore needed. Was a strikeout or a pop-up in the infield, and he gets just that. Now a double play, gets out of the inning. Middle infield will be at double play depth, corners in. So just as you'd expect with the bases loaded and 1 out in a 3-0 game, Gatemen really can't afford to make this any wider of a gap. And it seems like Bourne's lineup is come to play today.
Lyle Lynn will take ball 1 in the dirt. Nice block from McIver, who has to be careful with the balls in the dirt. Witherspoon is at third. 1 ball and no strikes. Lynn reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the first. One-0. Check swing, but the pitch was low. 2 balls and no strikes. One out in the bottom of the second. Bases loaded. 3-0 lead for Bourne. 2-0 pitch. In for strike 1.
Lyle Lynn's a dangerous hitter. Probably one of the best overall hitters on this Bourne roster. Got a really nice, easygoing swing, kind of similar to Stephen Kwan with the Gatemen, and in the fact that he can just line balls up the middle like it's no other.
2-1, connects with this one. Out to center, Metz under it, makes the catch. Tagging from third is Witherspoon. The throw is to third. And Witherspoon scores. It is 4-0 Bourne. A sac fly for Lyle Lynn. Gets the second out, but also pushes another run across. A 4-0 ball game in the bottom of the second at Dorn Park.
Nothing you can do about that. Fiore gets the fly out, but unfortunately got himself into some trouble to start this inning.
Richie Palacios sucks in the gut, but takes strike 1 on the inside part from the left side.
This is where Fiore has to take advantage. There are only a few lefties in this Bourne lineup, and the lefty-lefty matchup with that breaking ball can be really lethal from the Yukon ace.
0-1, got him to chase on a fastball up and away. Palacios down, no balls and 2 strikes, and Fiore just 1 pitch away from ending this inning. Bourne, 5 straight losses coming into this game today. They've responded. 0-2 pitch. Call strike 3. Palacios is frozen at the plate. Goes down on 3 pitches, but not before another run scores for Bourne. 1 run, 1 hit. Rather 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We head to the third. Bourne 4, Wareham 0 on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Continuing with our corporate sponsors, we also want to recognize and thank Franklin Sports, Advanced Embroidery, Cape Destinations, Robert B.R., Sullivan Tire, Vacation Inn Cape Cod, Cape Cod Veterinary Specialists, Cape Cod Times, Kinlan Grover Real Estate, Next Radio, Yellow Book, TSA, Rawlings, Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce, Highline Cruises, Sports Picks, On Deck Sports, Barnstable Bat, Hyannis Area Chamber of Commerce, HP Hood, Sunderland Printing, and Axis Bats. And of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgentcare.
Now a 4-0 lead for Bourne as we head to the third. Jacob Toby with Sam Corman, Claudia Chikami, and our sideline reporter Connor Federico on hand. Our pregame show host, our producer Nick Veronesi, our other producer Matt Weasel Thayer, and beat writer Maddie Feld on hand for this one. Second to last regular season game as Blake Sable takes ball one from Chad Linsman.
Linsman's been good so far. Ran into a little bit of trouble last inning, but got out of it pretty easily on a MacGyver fielder's choice. And once again, his pitch count is really low, and if that can continue, he can work himself nicely into this game. Pitching number 24 here.
24 is low. 2 balls and no strikes. Sable 190 on the year, 2 home runs, and 8 RBIs. Wines kicks and deals the 2-0. This one out to left field, now in foul territory. Over the fence, trying to make the catch is Palacios. Does he make the catch? He does, as the fence opens. Going out of foul territory, over the fence. It comes open. Palacios retires Sable.
What? That is the second time that a Bourne Braves outfielder has gone over the fence to make a catch this year. That is insane. What a play. And the gate opened outside. The gate to leave the field was where that fencing was, and it opened as he was making the catch.
Ben Baird will bat from the right side. 157, no home runs, 4 RBIs for Wareham shortstop. And he whiffs at a curveball on the first pitch at the at-bat. No balls and 1 strike. Oh, 1 broken bat. Watch out as it splits on the infield. Nice throw from Triolo at third as he comes in on the run and makes the catch, makes the throw rather, for out number 2.
Well, 4 pitches, 2 outs for Chad Linsman. It's been the story the last 2 games. The Gatemen swinging early in the counts, but they're not making hard contact. That's kind of a double issue, not only because they're not making hard contact, but they're once again keeping Linsman's pitch count, astronomically low for what inning it is. It's the 3rd inning in 2 outs, and he's only thrown 26 pitches. They have to work more counts.
Stephen Kwan takes a breaking ball low. Kwan flew out to Jamison Hanna in center field in the first. Second pitch at the at-bat outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Kwan tied 12th in the league in batting average at .313. Tied 14th in hits with 37. Linsman's 2-0 is outside. Kwan trying to draw the 4-pitch walk. Was 0 for 3 yesterday, but had 1 base on balls. And he'll get 1 here in this ball game with 2 outs.
He's center fielder number 9 from George Washington University. Robert.
Well, Gatemen have had some success with 2 outs this season. They've produced quite a bit of run support with 2 outs, and we'll see if they can do so again. Get a little rally going, cut this lead down. They have to do it sooner rather than later.
Robbie Metz takes ball 1 outside. He struck out swinging in the first. Metz a couple walk-off hits this season for Wareham. Playing center field today. 1-0 connected with. Sent to Williams at second base. Throws on to first. And that will retire the side. The Gatemen get no runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Still a 4-0 lead for Bourne. We'll send it now to our Connor Federico for a CCBL score update.
Thank you, Jacob. The last time I talked to you guys, it was 2-0 in favor of the Falmouth Commodores. The score has now moved to 3-1 in the bottom of the second. The Hyannis Harbor Hawks had a chance with the bases loaded and nobody out. Ryan Olenek had an RBI single, but then Dominic DiCaprio had a ground ball double play to end the inning. Falmouth keeps their lead 3-1. Hyannis unable to strike. That one is moving into the top of the third. That's the really important one for the Gatemen. Elsewhere around the league, 4-2, Katuitt has the lead over the YD Red Sox in the bottom of the sixth in an East-West matchup. It's 4-0 right here, and we're still awaiting the start of Brewster Harwich and Orleans Chatham. Back to you guys with good news for the Gatemen.
Good news indeed, Mr. Connor Federico. Bottom of the third here at Dorn Park, a 4-0 lead for Bourne over Wareham. And Baylor Sundahl is warming up in the bullpen for the Braves out of Sacred Heart. Fioli's still on the mound facing Scott Schreiber. And Schreiber swings and misses on the first pitch. 0-1. Schreiber was the second RBI single in the first inning after Palacios had one. Second pitch is low in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. And then Hannah had one as well.
They've just been consistent throughout the lineup. I mean, first trip to the order, they get 6 hits out of the first 9 batters that Fioli sees.
1-1. Tipped into the mitt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Braves getting production from the offense today. Fioli's 1-2 pitch. Connected with, out to left field. Going back is Quan. He's at the wall, and it's gone. Scott Schreiber, a solo home run, makes it 5-0 Bourne in the bottom of the third.
Well, I'm sure the Gatemen are getting sick of that tomahawk chop.
That's the third home run of the season for Scott Schreiber.
And just hasn't been good for the Gatemen starter. An uncharacteristic outing for Mason Fioli so far.
Now batting the center fielder number 12 from Dallas Baptist University, Jameson Hannah.
Really nothing you can do about that. Scott Schreiber, a straight-up power hitter out of Nebraska, getting his 3rd homer of the season. That's something that the Braves have been lacking.
Jameson Hannah takes ball 1 upside.
Something that the Braves have been lacking is the power this season, and if they can get that as they move into the Cape Cod Baseball League playoffs, then they'll be in good shape going up against whoever they play.
This pitch skips to the screen. Ricochets off of McIver, the catcher. 2 balls and no strikes to Hannah, who RBI singled in the first. High leg kick from Fioli, 2-0. In for strike 1. Home plate umpire Stephen Williams getting the Umpire of the Year award before this game tonight. 2-1 pitch. This one bounces before home plate. And McIver walking around. Didn't even have a chance at catching that one.
Nope, definitely not. That ball almost bounced before it even got to the dirt circle that surrounds home plate.
3 balls and 1 strike to Hannah with no outs in the bottom of the third. Strike 2 taken by Bourne center fielder. Hannah yesterday, like you said, as McIver goes out to the mound for a quick moment. Hannah had the grand slam in the top of the 5th. Michael Tolley of Katuitt responds in the bottom of the 5th with a grand slam.
That is just crazy.
Popped up, foul territory, down the third baseline. Kasser under it, makes the catch for out number 1. Hannah saying that Jason Billis was throwing him a lot of changeups, and he was able to sit back on a changeup and put a good swing on it. That grand slam.
Well, it's often how you see a lot of home runs in this league. They're not off fastballs, but they're off the off-speed pitches where guys can get good opportunities to basically
First pitch at the at-bat to Triolo, taken outside, 1-0.
Basically sit back, wait for it, and smack one out, and it makes it a lot easier if you're throwing changeup after changeup after changeup to him, because then he gets adjusted to the speed.
1-0. Foul tipped. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And Jamison Hanna also is arguably the most complete player in this Bourne lineup. Out of Dallas Baptist, they made an NCAA tournament appearance this year.
1-1. Connected with, out to left. Going back is Quan. He's under this one to make the catch for out number 2. Yesterday, Bourne had a chance to come back versus Katuitt. Had the bases loaded with no outs in the 9th. They needed 3 runs. They only got 2.
Seen a similar situation with the Gatemen before against the Brewster Whitecaps. Back at Spillane Field, they entered the 9th inning down 8-5 and were unable to put that comeback. It's just so tough to make those late inning comebacks.
Grant Witherspoon takes strike 1. Braves hits yesterday. 8 out of the 9 Braves hits came from the top 6 hitters in their order. Big swing and miss from Witherspoon, 0-2. The bottom 3 combined to go 1 for 10 in the game yesterday. It's been a different story here at Dorn Park. Fioli, his 0-2 pitch to Witherspoon. Curveball, called strike 3. Fioli strikes out Witherspoon to end the inning, but not before. Scott Schreiber hits a solo shot. The 5th run of the day for Bourne. They lead it 5-0 here in the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians, expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgentcare. Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
Now pitching for the Braves.
5-0 lead for Bourne as we're in the top of the 4th. Jacob Toby and Sam Corman bringing you the action on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Kyle Kasser, Jaron Duran, John Topa due up in this inning for Wareham. And a new pitcher on the hill, Baylor Sundahl at a Sacred Heart.
Yeah, Connecticut
There you
school,
go.
Sacred Heart, down in Fairfield, Connecticut. Baylor Sundahl making his debut this season, 4-6 with a 4.21 ERA at SHU this season with the Pioneers of Southwest Connecticut.
Sundahl delivers ball 1 to Kyle Kasser. Sundahl, a righty with the golden locks on the mound. Hair coming out of his hat. Blonde hair. 1-0 pitch. Kasser to second base. Grant Williams throws to first. And a quick out for Sundahl on the mound.
He's second baseman number 10 from Long Beach State
Oh,
University.
once again, Gatemen swinging early and grounding out. You know, if you're going to swing early, you got to make sure you're going to get hard contact. That was a soft ground ball from Kyle Kasser. Does not have any sort of velocity on that. Might have gotten off the middle of the bat, and being aggressive is it can be a good strategy at certain points, but right now they need to change it up, because right now the aggressive strategy is backfiring on the Gatemen.
Jaron Duran, 1 for 1 so far. Takes strike 1 from Sundal. Sundal making his debut tonight for Bourne, and he has to be careful. 2 out of the last 3 losses for Bourne have come on pitchers making their debuts. Jack Nelson on the 30th, and Kyle Martin last night letting up some runs and getting the loss in their respective games. 0-1 is low. As Bourne has responded very well with the offense, trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. Sundal taking his time. Here comes the 1-1. Breaking ball to shortstop, Prado. Low throw, not in time as Duran runs it out.
Well, that's the speed of Jaron Duran, fooling the left side of the infield. You just got to be in such a hurry with him running down the line.
See if they rule that a hit or an error. And they ruled that one a hit.
Sundal from Tennessee, but also went into high school in Connecticut at the Canterbury School, which is in New Milford, Connecticut, out near Danbury.
Close to you?
No, it's about a 45-minute drive, maybe an hour, down Route 44, which goes right through Taunton to Plymouth, Massachusetts.
Hey now. John Topa at the plate. Takes ball 1 inside. Topa grounded back to the mound his first time up in the second. All the way to Plymouth, you say?
Oh, it's a long road. Goes down to Jersey and Pennsylvania, I believe.
Duran's the runner at first. The 1-0 swung in, hit foul, off to the right and out of play. Fans ducking their heads. Sundal this past season finished 3rd in the NEC in innings pitched.
Heavy load.
And he's here, making his debut.
I actually know the catcher that he threw to most of the season, Cody Doyle. Played for the New Bedford Bay Sox this summer.
1-1 pitch is low. 2 balls and 1 strike. I have to say, you have a very good knowledge of the New Bedford Bay Sox roster. And well, I don't really know why.
Well, we had one game, and I was on play-by-play against New Bedford, and had to prep for that preseason game against the Bay Sox. Big rivalry, New Bedford versus Wareham.
2-1. Out to right field. Going over is Witherspoon in foul territory. And it goes foul. Hits the top of the fence, I believe. Pretty close to that right field line. The right field pole, only 300 down the right field.
Yeah, John Topa almost got it around the pesky pole. Very close. And almost had his first home run of the season on that play, but just tailing off foul a little bit. But that's how you take advantage of that 300-foot fence. It's 360, about a few feet to the left of there, more towards right center. And it's a very steep fence out towards right center from the pesky pole out there and right down the line.
2-2 pitch. Taken for ball 3. Topa had no home runs last season for UConn. Had 1 in his freshman season. Not known for the power. But almost got a hold of one there down the right field line. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Duran goes, the runner at first. This one slapped into right field, a base hit. Duran headed for third, and Jimmy Francos sent him at first and then told him to stop. The throw to first not in time. Right fielder Witherspoon bobbled it for a moment. Jimmy Francos thought about sending Jaron Duran. He ends up not doing so. Runners at the corners. Great spot for Wareham. 1 out, and they trail 5-0.
Perfectly executed hit and run for John Topa and Jaron Duran. That's how you use the abilities of John Topa. He is so good at, slapping opposite field base hits, line drives. We've been waiting to see that from him for the past few games, for about a week or two now, since he's started to enter a little bit of a slump. And a really good piece of hitting there to get Duran over to third.
Jake Anchia at the plate. Swings on the first pitch and sends it foul. Anchia was hit by a pitch in the second. So Baylor Sundahl, the new pitcher, running into some issues in the fourth. But no runs have crossed yet. Still 5-0. 0-1. Up and in. Mentioned it at the top of the broadcast. Anchia struggled behind the plate last night. Was taken mid-game and sent to first base. Blake Sable caught the rest. 1-1 to Anchia. Right down the middle for strike two.
Well, Baylor Sundahl, another one of those guys coming over from the NECBL after their season ended. He played for the Danbury Westerners until they were eliminated from contention, and now is here with Bourne. And we've seen the Gatemen have stolen a few players from that Danbury roster.
Sundahl's 1-2. Breaking ball just a bit outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. First real chance Wareham has had tonight to put some runs across.
Well, you know, Jake Anchia is looking for another one of those breaking balls, just a little bit more in the zone so he can size it up. And
runner goes to second. Topa in safely. No advancement from Duran at third. Sundahl didn't even flinch at Topa advancing to second base, but he does so nonetheless. Now both runners in scoring position.
Is that a stolen base? The pitcher doesn't even, know. He just kind of runs over to second.
It is.
Sneaky.
2-2 pitch to Anchia. Right back to the mound. Sundahl looks back the runner at third, throws to first. Coming home is Duran, and he scores. Sundahl looked back Duran through to first. Meanwhile, Duran comes home, and the Wareham Gatemen have their first run of the day. They trail 5-1.
That was very poorly executed by Baylor Sundahl on the mound. He should have known that Jaron Duran was stuck because John Topa took off for third base. And because of that, Jaron Duran had no choice but to go home. And Sundahl wastes an opportunity to, keep this game at 5-0, but instead goes to first for the out. Gatemen are on the board.
McIver at the plate, takes a pitch up and in. Reached on a fielder's choice in the second. What was really the end of the inning, as Anchia was retired at second base. Second pitch, fastball way up there. 2 balls and no strikes. So John Topa now the runner at third. Sundahl's 2-0. Becomes 3-0. Some more action in the Bourne bullpen. Couple arms getting loose. We'll get names in a moment. Sundahl's 3-0. High for ball 4. McIver walks. He heads down to first base.
Big spot for Blake Sable right here, the 8-hitter. He's been hitting the ball pretty well recently. I would say if there was a most improved player award on the Gatemen, I would probably give it to him at this point in the season.
I like that.
A few other candidates on the pitching staff as well, such as Noah Zavalis. But Blake Sable has gotten so much better, not only at the plate in the lefty batter's box where he is now, but also as a first baseman, what he's not used to back at USC.
Sable batting from the left side. 2 runners on, 2 outs. First pitch is inside. Sable retired back in the third. Palacios made the catch out in foul territory down the left field line. Broke the gate a little bit, broke it open. And now the pitching coach for Bourne, Jordan Tabachman, out to talk to Baylor Sundahl. Tabachman in his 3rd season with Bourne, a UConn product. Played on the team.
Lots of UConn guys in this game. You got Fioli and Topa, of course, and then you have, Zach Susi not in the lineup for Bourne today, but he was an all-star this season for the Bourne Braves behind the plate. Really, really good defensive catcher. Must be nice for Mason Fieldway to go back to UConn and have a guy of his caliber behind the plate to be throwing to night in and night out.
Yeah, Susie, an all-star. A couple other really good players on this team aren't playing. Runner goes down to second base. No throw, so McIver advances. Now another runner in scoring position. Andy Atwood on the bench for Bourne, made the Sports Center top 10 catch.
Well, I believe Andy Atwood went home, but...
Well, he's on the roster.
Oh, he's still on the roster.
2-0 pitch.
I'm wrong.
Sable slices it foul. Blake Whitney in the bullpen for Bourne.
Another new guy.
2 balls and 1 strike. Runners at second and third with 2 outs. Sable right back to the mound. Sundahl will flip to first. And it's in time to retire the side. Not before the Gatemen get 1 run on 2 hits. No errors and 2 men left on. It is Bourne 5, Wareham 1 on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Do you know what that sound is? That's your new digital marketing department. And that'll be your new web designer. And that's Haibu, where these experts are joined by many more, from web designers to search marketing specialists who work hard to get your business noticed online and on mobile. Best of all, Haibu can do it all for you, or give you the tools to do it yourself. To find out more, go to haibu.com. That's HIBU.com, or call 855-464-HIBU. Oh, that'll be your next new customer. Haibu, made for business.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This special weekly celebration of Red Shirt Fridays is sponsored by 47 Brand, HP Hood, Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority, Advanced Embroidery, and the Cape League. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
Welcome back to the Gatemen Baseball Network. I'm Connor Federico, live in studio with an important update from around the league. It was 4-1 Falmouth against Hyannis going into the bottom of the 4th. Then suddenly magic from the Harbor Hawks bats. It started with a 2-run double in the bottom of this frame from Brendan Donovan. Just a couple of pitches later, Ford Proctor hits a 2-run home run that drives in Donovan. Hyannis Harbor Hawks, they lead the Falmouth Commodores 5-4. Hyannis possibly closing the gap between these two teams. Some life from the Triple H. Jacob, back to you.
Wow, the Harbor Hawks are flying tonight.
Good call.
New pitcher in for the Wareham Gatemen. It's Dalton Roach. Fioli finishes his night 3 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Tough night for him.
Definitely a tough night for him, and his command was a little bit off, but not only was his command off, but the Bourne hitters were really just alive on that fastball in the middle of the zone, as well as his breaking ball. And, you know, Dalton Roach has been good this season, but it's going to be tough with the way that Bourne's been swinging the bat today. Already 7 hits for the Bravos, as you like to call them, here in the 4th inning.
Radzuich, the catcher, takes up and in, ball 1. Roach out of Minnesota State. 6'2", 200 pounds, throws from the right side. 1-0. Down the third base line, fair. Kasser didn't even have a chance. He was frozen. Heading for second base is the catcher, Radzuich. The throw, not in time. Taking advantage of some lazy baseball is the Bourne catcher. He's on second base.
Kasser playing quite a bit over towards the shortstop position on that play. And it opens up that line, and A good effort by the left fielder, Stephen Kwan, but he just does not have the best or strongest of arms out there in left and unable to get it into second. Just a little bit, too slow for Kevin Raduich, who's a catcher. You wouldn't expect that.
Prado, the leadoff hitter, takes strike one.
If the Cape Cod Baseball League's taught me one thing, it's that never to underestimate the catcher and the speed.
We've seen that here in Wareham.
McIver and Sable.
Roach looks back, the runner at second. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and miss. A fastball up and in. Prado 1 for 1. Singled and scored in the first and then walked in the second. Roach from the stretch is 0-2. Little liner out to right field, falling fast, in for the base hit. Right in front of Topa. Now runners at the corners.
Now batting the second baseman, number 4.
And no outs in the inning.
From Kennesaw State University, Grant Williams.
Well, soft contact for Dalton Roach. Just really nice piece of hitting by Anthony Prado, the shortstop, leading off. He's now 2 for 2 with a walk on the day through 4 innings. Or not even through 4 innings, but through his first 3 at-bats. And not a good start for Dalton Roach. You'd like to see him respond to this, but he's been good all season. You expect him to make a comeback here after getting himself into the hole, but that runner on third is going to be tough to get out of now with nobody out.
Grant Williams at the plate. He takes strike one. On the outside part, Williams walked in the first and popped out to Duran at second base in the second.
Nice quick stretch delivery from Dalton Roach. Doesn't even lift his leg, just gets it toward home plate. Basically just playing catch with Willie McIver behind home plate.
0-1 pitch. In for strike two. No outs in a 5-1 ball game. G-men trail the Bravos.
Just change the E to an O in Braves on the scoreboard, and then you got it. It is G-men on the scoreboard here at Doran Park, as it usually is.
0-2 pitch. Up and away. Roach taking his time.
I'd bet they'd use Doors if Falmouth was here. Hawks.
Ah, okay.
For the Harbor Hawks. The Doors, that's what they call Vandy sometimes, is the Doors. Go Doors. That's the saying for Vanderbilt students and fans everywhere.
Runners at the corners for Williams. And Roach steps off the mound, looks back. The runners at third and first. Falmouth, their post-game show called Closing the Door. Very clever.
Definitely.
Roach with the 1-2. Bounces to the plate. Nice block from McIver. Or else that would have been the 6th run for Bourne.
What's more clever? Closing the door or reeling it in with the Chatham Anglers? With Drew Carter and Max Hurst.
I'm going to go with closing the door.
I think closing the door is better as well.
But it's close. Shout out Drew Carter. 2-2 pitch. Hacked at to the second baseman, Duran. Spins, throws to first. That was his only play. The run will score. Raduich comes home. 6-1 in favor of Bourne.
Smart play by Duran. Once again, quick thinking on his feet at second base. Did not have any play at second base, so went back to first for the easy out. At least gets one. And that run was pretty much inevitably going to come across with first and third. And nobody out for Wareham. And now the hole deepens here at Doran Park. And the door is closing on the Gatemen opportunity to win this game.
Lyle Lynn at the plate. Takes strike one. Nice breaking ball from Dalton Roach. Again, out of Minnesota State.
Yes, that is a beautiful Minnesota accent you put on there. Dalton Roach has to take advantage of that breaking ball against righty batters. Kind of has a slight sliding movement from the inside part of the plate.
Looks back the runner at second, not once but twice. Here comes the 0-1. In for strike 2. Their accent out there, very Canadian-like.
I mean, it basically is Canada. In some parts. I mean, Minneapolis, of course, is its own little city, big city. But then you have places like Duluth, which are basically Canada, way up there in northern Minnesota. In Mankato, big hockey school, Minnesota State.
0-2 pitch from Roach. A sliced foul down the right field line and out of play. Roach's girlfriend's mother came up and talked to us a couple weeks ago at Falmouth. And the accent was very thick.
Minnesota.
No balls and 2 strikes with a runner at second base and 1 out. 0-2 down the left field line, and it's past Kwan. Prado will score. Heading to second is Lynn. RBI double. Tomahawk chop keeps on rolling here at Dorn Park.
Well, I hope they have a Spotify premium account because they're going to run out of plays on this song if this continues. I don't even know if that's a thing, but I kind of liked it, so I used it. But tough because Dalton Roach got ahead in that count, 0-2, and just delivered a fastball, and Lyle Lynn stays back and whacks it for a pull double down the line.
Richie Palacios struck out looking to end the second, his last time up. Takes ball 1 up and away. Have to say, my father is in attendance right behind us, and we are Native American. He does not agree with the tomahawk chop.
It is pretty ridiculous.
1-0 pitch. Connects with this one. Shallow left field. Coming in is Kwan, but it will actually be Baird, the shortstop, making the catch for out number 2.
I mean, there are so many teams that use it. It's just crazy. It's just become like a, ugh.
Wow. I didn't know you didn't agree with it. Nice to hear.
Keep my political views to myself. We're on a baseball broadcast.
Scott Schreiber, solo shot to start the third off of Mason Fioli, his last time up. He takes strike 1. He's had a good day, 2 for 2. RBI single in the first. I just
think that with the amount of teams that use it, they got to find something more original. You know, you have the Kansas City Chiefs, the Florida State Seminoles, the Atlanta Braves, all use it. You know, they come up with something different.
Roach looks back the runner at second, which is Lynn. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and miss. Fioli works much quicker than Roach. Roach on the mound right now, taking his time with each pitch.
And he's once again getting ahead in the count, throwing strikes. You just got to finish the deal on this Bourne Braves lineup, which is red hot.
0-2. Swing and a miss on a ball that was in the dirt. McIver's going to have to throw down to first. He does so, and that will end the inning. Bourne, 2 more runs, 3 hits, no errors. 1 man left on base. It is Bourne 7, Wareham 1. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Mr. Brian Clue and Smartco Services LLC, located in Taunton, Massachusetts, for being the official sponsors of the Gatemen Player Development Program. The Player Development Program aims to improve both the players' and interns' skills and prepares them for a career in professional baseball. Again, a sincere thank you to Mr. Brian Clue and Smartco Services.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development. Online at www.curry.edu.
More runs for the Braves. It's 7-1 here at Dorn Park. Jacob Toby, Sam Corman, bringing you all the action here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. And Ben Baird will lead it off for Wareham. He is the 9-hitter in this lineup tonight.
Well, the Gatemen have had more success than they did against Falmouth yesterday.
First pitch from Sundahl is taken outside, 1-0.
But once again, an incomplete pitching performance here to start this game, and only 3 hits. But they have had some base runners and some opportunities.
Second pitch at the at-bat taken for strike 1. So both starting pitchers in this game only going 3 innings. One. Foul tipped off of the catcher's helmet. Radziewicz.
7 of the first 12 putouts for Bourne have been via the ground out. The Gatemen are just getting over the top of the ball, chopping it in the infield, especially back to the pitcher. That's happened 3 times today. Got to get the ball at the infield, at least.
1-2. Into center on a line. Base hit for Ben Baird. He has to like that.
He's been hitting the ball a lot better recently. Got on base yesterday with a fielder's choice, but before yesterday, before July 31st against Katuitt, had a big day against the Orleans Firebirds, getting 3 hits, including a run in that game and an RBI back in the 2nd inning, which were both crucial to bring Wareham to victory against the Orleans Firebirds.
Stephen Kwan at the plate, scoots out of the way and takes ball 1 inside. A 5-4 Hyannis lead right now versus the Falmouth Commodores. Second pitch up and away.
The Gatemen needed a leadoff base runner, down by 6. They need to start stringing some hits together if they want any chance of coming back in this game.
Sundahl's 2-0, in for strike 1.
And they have had some success against Baylor Sundahl since he entered the game last inning, and with some hits, and his command has been really sharp, but the Gatemen have been able to hit pitches in the strike zone, unlike Chad Linsman, who started this game out of Nebraska.
2-1 pitch, up and away. 3 balls and 1 strike with Ben Baird, the runner, at first. The Gatemen, this is only their 2nd inning with the leadoff runner on. Every inning for Bourne, that's happened.
Yikes. Never a good recipe.
3-1, hit foul off to the left and out of play.
Towards the parking lot, but it's quite a distance from the baseball field here. Cars don't have to worry about, or owners of the cars don't have to worry about it as much.
Covered by a roof.
Yeah, it's like an airport parking lot. It reminds me of it.
Runner goes, it's Baird, the 3-2 pitch. Hit and run, Kwan out to the shortstop, Prado. Throws to first and is in time. Baird will advance to second base. Nice throw from Prado for out number 1.
Well, Baird got an insane jump over there at first base. He was about halfway down by the time that the ball was released from Sundahl's arm. And a good opportunity for an opposite field hit and run, just not well executed by Stephen Kwan right to the shortstop, Prado. Got it over his head, and Ben Baird would have been at third base easily.
Robbie Metz, 0 for 2. Looking for his first hit. He takes strike 1. Metz struck out in the first swinging. Grounded out to Grant Williams at second to end the 3rd. A 1. Popped up down the right field line, giving chase is the first baseman and right fielder, and it's Schreiber who makes the catch, the first baseman. Baird will tag to third. The throw was going to be in time, but it was just a tad bit off. Baird lucky right there that it wasn't a double play to end the inning.
Yes, definitely was. And You know, top of the order right now with Kyle Kasser, if you include the top three guys, Kyle Kasser, Robbie Metz, Stephen Kwan. 0 for 7 so far. Got to be better. Need those guys that get that extra at-bat to provide, and they haven't today.
Kasser bunts it down the third baseline, rolling foul. Kasser in this ball game has grounded out twice. Once to the shortstop and once to the second baseman. Falmouth has now taken a 7-5 lead with a 3-run top of the fifth. Back and forth that game is going.
So many weapons in the Commodores lineup, it just never stops with them. And the Gatemen, if this score holds, it locks them. If both these scores hold, it locks them into the 4th spot in the division. And that would likely be against the Falmouth Commodores.
Sundall's 0-1. Up the middle, past the dive of the second baseman, Williams. Ben Baird scores. The Gatemen have their second run of the day. Nice job from Kyle Kasser. A 7-2 ball game.
That's great from Kyle Kasser, but they need more. I mean, that's the way that the game has gone. They're down 7-2 now. While it's great to get an RBI single with a runner on third, you have to start stringing more hits together, and with 2 outs, it's going to be tough. But Jaron Duran has had a really good day at the plate, and the guy behind him, John Topa, has had a solid day as well, with a really nice hit and run executed back in the 4th inning.
Sundall's first pitch to Duran is outside. Told you 2 out of the 3 losses, last 3 losses for Bourne have come on the heels of pitchers making their debuts. Sundall making his debut tonight. 7-2 ball game right now. Duran takes ball 2 up high.
And I'm pretty sure I'm right when I say that the Gatemen have not won a game in which the opponent has scored 7 or more runs this season.
We'll have to get our statistician on that.
I'm going to play statistician right now.
2-0 is outside. 3 balls and no strikes. Chad Linsman was the starter for Bourne, going 3 innings, giving up only 1 hit, no earned. And ball 4 to Jaron Duran. Sundall walks the 4-hitter in Wareham's lineup, and it's first and second. And now here comes Harvey Shapiro, Bourne's manager in his 15th season here at Dorn Park. One of 4 CCBL managers to have over 400 wins. And he will make the pitching change. Baylor Sundall's night is done. As the Gatemen, they have 1 run in the 5th. They still trail at 7-2 here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Don't miss a minute of this station's pre- and post-game sports talk. Tune in on your smartphone with the Next Radio app. It's live and it's local. Download the free Next Radio app from the Google Play Store today. Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen Youth Clinics. The instruction clinics are open to boys and girls between ages 4 and 15. The clinics are a great opportunity to meet and learn from some of the best collegiate players in the country. Clinics are held Monday through Friday, depending on the player's off day. For more information and to sign up your young ball player, visit www.gatemen.org. Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgent care.
The Fuller Family Foundation is proud to support the excellent sportsmanship and character of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. We are proud supporters of the CCBBL as well as many other wonderful Cape Cod organizations that serve our community.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Blake Whitney is the new pitcher for the Bourne Braves. South Carolina Upstate.
Yeah, that's the real USC if you ask me. USC Upstate, home to Blake Whitney. The Spartans from Sharpsburg, Georgia. Not sure where that one is, sorry.
Come on, man, you know everything about that. He will face John Topa, who singled and stole a base back in the fourth. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. First pitch from Whitney is low on a breaking ball, 1-0. Whitney making his debut tonight with the Bourne Braves. Second straight pitcher to do so. Topa swings and misses.
Spent the rest of his summer this season with the North Adams Steeplecats of the Valley League. So coming over from the Valley League after that season ends.
1-1 to Topa. Is in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. Casser's the runner at second. Duran the runner at first. 2 outs in the inning. A 7-2 lead for Bourne. Whitney bending over pretty low to get the signs from his catcher. 2-1 pitch. Connecting with this one is Topa. Out to center. Jamison Hanna has it sized up. Makes the catch. And that will end the inning. The Gatemen get 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on. It is Bourne 7, Wareham 2 on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Fuller Family Foundation is proud to support the excellent sportsmanship and character of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
The Sacred Cod Tavern at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa, a quintessential New England dining experience for lunch or dinner. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Welcome back to the Gatemen Baseball Network. I'm Claudia Chikamian. So as we've talked about a lot the past few days, the Gatemen have been very short on the bench with just those 9 position players. So they're all very happy to have these new additions. And the new players are very excited to be here as well. Those position players, Tavares, Ding Kong, and Durpich, they're so excited for this opportunity. I got to talk to them a little bit during batting practice. They were just very excited for this opportunity. I said, coming here this late in the season, is that still okay? And they said, yes, absolutely. They're so excited for this opportunity. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League. It's exactly what every college player dreams about doing, is coming here and playing, getting the opportunity, come out here and prove themselves. And that's what they're hoping they can do. I talked to Kyle Casser pregame, and he said that he's excited for the new additions. You can learn so much from new players, and that's what it's like playing here in the summer league baseball, getting to see players from all over the country, learn from them. These aren't the players coming in that are from these big D1 programs like some of the guys that have been here all season are. They're from much smaller schools, so they can help these guys a lot down the stretch and hopefully provide something. And Coach Nennen is very excited about these additions. He says it's very stressful and not a fun time not having any position players. We saw Cody Smith last night almost having to go in for the Gatemen. He didn't have to. He's back in the bullpen for the rest of the season, but he said it's very relieving knowing that if they need to have a pinch hitter situation, he now has those options. He doesn't know when we'll see them in the game, whether it's today or tomorrow, but he's just happy that if it comes down to it and we have a 7-2 game right now, he can substitute one of those guys in. So we'll see when they come in, if they can prove themselves, but they're just really happy for this opportunity. Now we'll send it back to Jacob.
Thank you very much, Claudia. Joe Durpich, Randy Tavares, Brandon White, a pitcher. All newcomers here for the Gatemen. They try to battle back. They are down 7-2. In the bottom half of the 5th inning, Will Neely is the new pitcher for the Gatemen. He faces Jamison Hanna, who swings on the first pitch. Sends it to left. Stephen Kwan under it. 1 pitch, 1 out. Sunday versus Orleans was the first time an opposing team has scored 5 runs, and the Gatemen won that ball game. They've never won a ball game this season in which the opponent has scored 6 or more runs. Bourne has 7 tonight.
It's basically been the story of the season is when the pitching does not have a good outing, the hitting is never there to kind of pick it up. Their hitting's been on the weaker end of the Cape Cod League all season.
Triolo takes ball 1. Low from Will Neely. We last saw him versus Brewster on the 27th. Really good outing. Pitched an inning, struck out 2. Second pitch fired in for strike 1. And Neely, a guy that works very quickly on the hill.
Yes, very quick worker and also a very quick delivery, too. He's in and out of the windup in about less than a second.
1-1. Up the middle, pass Baird at short. And Triolo is on for a single. Neely, 5'11", 160 pounds, out of Tennessee. Just finished his sophomore season.
160 pounds.
I weigh 170.
Yeah, I weigh about the same. And, you know, he's got, I mean, just the fact that he weighs 160 pounds and is able to throw the ball 92 to 93 miles an hour is ridiculous. Curveball for him has been a lot better in his past few outings.
Here comes the spoon. Grant Witherspoon sends it to center. Metz under it, makes the catch. Another 1 pitch, 1 out situation.
Well, if that ball wasn't up in the zone, Witherspoon probably would have smacked that one 500 feet. But unfortunately for Will Neely, Witherspoon had to kind of swing down at that ball because it was so high up in the zone, and it stays in the ballpark. Witherspoon just got all of that ball. And 2 quick outs for Will Neely. Bourne attacking early in the count, keeping Will Neely's pitch count down. And he has an opportunity to get out of this first inning of his very quickly. You'd like to see Will Neely have a nice 3 or 4 inning outing with the way that the rest of the pitching staff has gone today. It will be really good for him to get into the 7th or 8th.
Kevin Radziewicz taking strike 1. Neely, this is his 9th appearance, a 2.53 ERA in 10 2/3 innings. 12 strikeouts, 7 walks. 0-1 pitch on the ground. Baird charging, throwing on the run, in time, across the diamond. The Braves get no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. 7-2 lead for the Bravos here at Dorn Park.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. They're big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like their hand-breaded crispy fish tacos with cilantro lime rice. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
When you're sick or injured, you want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgentcare. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgentcare.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
designated hitter.
7-2 lead.
Over Southeastern
Bourne
University,
over
Jake
Falmouth.
Anchia.
Jacob Toby with Sam Corman. Top of the 6th at Doran Park. Anchia, McIver, and Sable to face Blake Whitney. And last half inning was the first inning. Bourne has not scored in this game tonight. Anchia swings on the first pitch. High chopper to Williams at second. Ranging over, making the throw, and in time. Nice play from Grant Williams. 1 pitch and 1 out. And last night followed the same script. Falmouth scored in the first 4 innings. They couldn't score in the 5th.
Well, I mean, if that's the issue that your opposition is facing, then the pitching staff really has an issue, and it does right now. I mean, lots of guys left the team for various reasons earlier in the season, and it's a depleted pitching staff, and it's showing on the scoreboard.
First pitch to McIver.
I would like
taken outside, 1-0.
I would like to point out that after this pitch, really quick.
1-0, in for strike 1.
I would like to point out that Falmouth has scored in 4 of the first 5 innings in this game today, and they scored in 6 of 9 innings yesterday, meaning they've scored in 10 of their last 14 innings.
1-1 pitch. Into foul territory down the right field line, and it will bounce foul. No one could get it. Witherspoon and Schreiber, the right fielder and first baseman, were giving chase. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Blake Sable giving his teammate a nice hand, walking out of the on-deck circle into the batter's box to hand Willie McIver his bat, taking off that load of work.
McIver is just 2 for his last 26 coming into this at-bat.
It's been rough over the past few weeks for him, but he is a talented baseball player, and he'll recover.
And one of the best guys on this team. 1-2, swung on and missed. He strikes out. Now 2 for his last 27. And breaking news, score update, Connor Federico, go.
Hey, Jacob Toby, the Hyannis Harbor Hawks had the tying run on third with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. They had runners on first and third. The runner on first takes off, gets caught in a pickle, and gets tagged out before the runner can score home. 7-6 Falmouth, and we're headed to the 6th inning from McKeon Park. Wild, wild stuff.
It is wild here in the West. As Sam Corman likes to say, Blake Sable swings on the first pitch, chops it to the first baseman Schreiber, who will flip on to his pitcher. And that will end the inning. 1, 2, 3, go the Wareham Gatemen. And we're headed to the bottom of the 6th. 7-2 lead for the Bravos on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 17 seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for top-notch baseball training. With over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18 and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more. Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. They're big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like their hand-breaded crispy fish tacos with cilantro lime rice. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Brendan White making his debut for the Wareham Gatemen out of Siena, as his team trailing the Bourne Braves 7-2. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Jacob Toby, Sam Corman, Claudia Chikamian, Matt Feld, Connor Federico, Nick Veronesi, Matt Weaselthayer, all in action tonight.
Everyone
working this broadcast. The Gatemen Baseball
squad.
Network crew, we squad up. And Brendan White on for his first appearance for the Wareham Gatemen. What should we expect out of him?
Well, you'd hope that he can be better than a few of the new guys were yesterday for the Wareham Gatemen. Chris Weiss had a rough outing in his first appearance. Chris Weiss. Chris Weiss had a good outing. John Murphy had a rough outing. Darian Ragens came in, gave up a few hits, but was able to get out of it with no hits or no runs, excuse me. So, new guy on the hill, D3 guy out of Siena. Wait, Siena's not D3. Siena is D1. That is false news coming from somewhere. I don't know. I won't say his name on the air.
But we all know who it is. Anthony Prado, the shortstop, is first at the plate. 1-2-3 in this inning. High leg kick from White, swinging on the first pitch and sending it foul is Prado. No balls and 1 strike.
Well, you talk about the Grayson Genista MVP award. He definitely was, one
elite.
An elite player. However, there are definitely a lot of other guys that deserve some consideration. Steven Scott, the Orleans Firebirds, lots of home runs this year, 32 runs batted in, led the entire league.
0-1 pitch. Swinging on this one and also sending it foul is Prado. No balls and 2 strikes.
Genesis' teammate, Griffin Conine with Katuitt, definitely deserves some consideration.
That was my pick.
And, how about this one? One of the best defensive catchers in the league, also had 28 runs batted in this year, and he did it without having a ton of home runs.
0-2 on the ground. Kasser at third, takes 3 or 4 steps, throws across the diamond, and in time for out number 1.
To finish my thought, Mickey Gasper of the Brewster Whitecaps. He's been consistent all season long for Brewster, and I think he definitely deserves some consideration in that MVP race. No disrespect to Genista, I think he was definitely a worthy candidate.
I think the one thing with Gasper is that his average was not up to par with some of the others.
Definitely.
I believe it was mid-260s if I'm not mistaken. Grant Williams at the plate, facing Brendan White. First pitch outside, 1-0.
Gasper did hit .297 this year.
Okay.
5 home runs. Also worked 28 walks. That led the league.
1-0 pitch. Big swing and miss. Fastball with a little sink to it. 1-1.
And he's a catcher. And he's been one of the best defensive catchers all season long. So if I was voting, my vote would have gone to Mickey Gasper of the Brewster Whitecaps. However, of course, Genista, an elite player out of Wichita State. The Shockers have a bright future ahead.
Williams pops this one up. Right center field. Moving over is the center fielder Metz for out number 2. Yeah, for me it was Conine of Katuitt, but the MVP would have stayed in Katuitt either way. Conine, Genista. What a punch for their offense.
And they'll be dangerous in the CCBL playoffs for sure, coming up against what would likely be the Bourne Braves if they hold on to this victory, and Falmouth holds on to their victory. That is a set Western Conference or Western Division rivalry.
Lyle Lynn swings and misses on a fastball. He RBI double back in the 4th. He's also scored a run and had a sac fly. 7-2 lead for Bourne. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. This one popped foul over our heads and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. To the DH for Bourne. A lot of players this season having good offensive seasons. Jimmy Herron, an MVP candidate as well for the Firebirds. White's 0-2. Is sent foul off to the right. And I wonder when the last time, if ever, a Cape League MVP was a pitcher. Obviously, it's rare-ish in Major League Baseball. 0-2 pitch. This one connected with, sent into right field on a line, but catching it is Topa. And that will end the inning. The Bourne Braves go 1, 2, 3, and we're headed to the 7th. Still a 7-2 lead for Bourne over Wareham on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Cape Cod Baseball League is all about family, and it's all about fun. Friendly's is all about family and fun and is proud to sponsor the 2017 baseball season. Friendly's, life with extra sprinkles.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1991, holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 through 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, plus 400 have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Curry College offers 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports such as football, baseball, softball, basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, and volleyball. Read about the success of the Curry Colonels and their championship teams. It's all online at www.curry.edu.
7-2 lead for Bourne. Wareham coming up to the plate. Top half of the 7th inning. Jacob Toby along with Sam Corman bringing you the action on the Gatemen Baseball Network. It is 9-1-2 for Wareham. Baird, Kwan, and Metz. We talked last half inning. Who was the last pitcher to win an MVP award in the Cape League? Phil Welch, a pitcher for guess who? The Wareham Gatemen. First pitch to Baird is taken low, 1-0.
Lots of notable names on this list of MVPs for the Cape League. Carlos Pena, Evan Longoria, recently Justin Smoke. But, you know, you go back to, after this pitch, well,
1-0 becomes 2-0.
You go back to 1967, the 4th MVP award ever given out. Thurman Munson, the Chatham A's at Kent State. Rest in peace, Thurman Munson, 38 years ago today.
2-0 pitch, sent down and out of play down the right field line in foul territory, rather. Making the catch is the first baseman Schreiber for out number 1. Of course, the batting title award is called the Thurman Munson Award here in the CCBL with good reason. Can't believe that's today, actually.
Colton Wong in 2010, the Orleans Firebirds.
Evan Longoria, 2005 for Chatham. Chatham's had some great players as Kwan takes ball 1. Kwan is 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out.
Jason Varitek with the Hyannis Mets back in 1993.
1-0, popped up to left field, shallow left field, just on the edge of the grass. Coming out is Prado to make the catch for out number 2.
Number is on fielder number 9 from George Washington University, Robert Metz.
Always great to hear the opposing PA announcers announcing Robbie Metz as Robert Metz. Classic. You know, some people take, like, you know, real offense to the wrong name. I don't think Robbie Metz is one of those guys.
Don't believe so, as he swings and misses at the first pitch at the at-bat. Metz 0 for 3, struck out swinging in the first, grounded out to end the third, and flew out in the 5th. Now he's down to his last strike, 0-2.
Really, that slider from Blake Whitney has been on point. Moving away from the righty batter on the outside part of the plate. It's been really nice for him.
0-2 pitch is sent off to the right, foul. And there's an interesting situation that goes on here at Dorn Park with the foul balls.
Lots of kids fighting to the death for him? Is that what it is? Because that's basically the situation in every ballpark.
0-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Metz goes down swinging.
We'll have to talk about it next inning.
And the Gatemen go 1-2-3 for the second straight inning. On the other side of this break, we'll tell you the secret about the foul balls here at Dorn Park. We are off to the 7th inning stretch presented by Eastern Propane and Oil, proud to sponsor the Gatemen with locations on and off the Cape. 7-2 lead for the Bravos. We're march on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
Want to hear more about today's game, players, and breaking sports updates? Then download the free Next Radio app from the Google Play Store and tune to this station. It's live. It's local FM radio wherever you go. The Next Radio app. Get it today. Visit Stars Restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa for a world-class dining experience. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Bottom 7 at Dorn Park. Are you all stretched out? Because I am. Jacob Toby, Sam Corman. A 7-2 lead for Bourne as they come to bat in the home half of the 7th. They went 1-2-3 in the 6th for the first time in this ball game. White's first pitch, grounded to Duran at second base. Throws on to first. Speedy Palacios is retired for out number 1. Giovanni
Ding Kong
is out in right field for his Wareham debut. He replaces John Topa.
Out of St. Thomas Aquinas College in New York, from Brooklyn, New York. New York City boy. Brooklyn, of course, home to the Brooklyn Bridge, among other things.
A lot of things, like the lousy
half of the Brooklyn
Nets.
Bridge, I guess. The lousy Nets.
Scott Schreiber up the middle on the first pitch. He sees from Brendan White, and it's a 1-out single. He has had himself a day. 3 for 4. 2 RBIs, a solo home run, and 2 singles.
Now batting the center fielder, number 12 from Dallas Baptist University, Jameson Hanna.
What's your secret? What's the foul ball secret?
Oh, the foul ball secret.
I want to hear it.
Jameson Hanna, 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Every time you bring a foul ball back to the press box, you get a Friendly's gift certificate.
It's basically the complete opposite of other fields where
first pitch to Hanna, in for strike 1.
They read an ad saying, you can keep that foul ball, brought to you by blah, blah, blah. I hear that at almost every other field, but apparently here at Bourne, you're encouraged to bring it back.
Hanna awaiting the 0-1 from White. Off speed, swung on a miss. No balls and 2 strikes with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Schreiber is the runner at first. A 7-2 lead for Bourne.
Speaking of friendlies, I was driving to Springfield the other day, about last week, and I went through Wilbraham, Massachusetts. And as you enter Wilbraham on I-90, it says, "Well, welcome to Wilbraham, home of friendlies."
Really? 0-2 pitch. Curveball swung on and missed. Hanna is going to be retired. Was on his way to first, but Schreiber is already there. That strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard. And all the strikeouts tonight have been brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard. Sorry if that hasn't been said tonight. Gatemen Baseball Network would like to remind you that you can contact us anytime by emailing pressbox@gatemen.org. Please feel free to send us your questions or comments, and we'll make sure to address them as soon as possible. Jerry Triolo is the batter. 1 for 3. Takes a pitch inside, 1-0.
Excuse me while I leave the broadcast so I can go try to catch as many foul balls as possible, rock in the Friendlies gift certificates.
Make sure you're keeping up with all the Gatemen action 24/7 by following Wareham Gatemen on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud. "1-0 is sent foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sam Corman going off to chase the ball. No, just kidding.
I'm still here. Connor can't stop laughing over there.
1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs. Triolo at the plate, batting from the right side. White's pitch. Down the third base line, it's fair, says Stephen Williams, the home plate umpire. Rounding third, coming home is Schreiber. He scores. 8-2 Bourne.
Well, to paint a picture, an accurate picture of that play, that was a foul ball. We have a great view down the line. It was about a foot to the left of the baseline, and Don Sneddon's out talking to the umpire. That was undoubtedly a foul ball.
Don Sneddon out to talk to Stephen Williams, the home plate umpire. Getting a little bit upset. Remember, not too long ago, Chad Gassman and Don Sneddon got into it a little bit. Not the same sort of discussion going on right now. Here, Sneddon walking away, still drawing a bit at Williams. Put up the peace sign, possibly showing that a couple times there's been a call that's a little iffy. And Grant Witherspoon, the spoon, coming up to the plate.
Yikes on that call. Yikes. That ball was fouled by about a foot. It will be the same for Bourne as it was for Wareham, not being biased.
First pitch to the spoon, and for strike 1.
But as a radio broadcast, you have to paint a picture of what happened on the play, and that ball was clearly foul. Just umpire. I mean, a lot going on in the with the umpires right now, so it's tough to make those calls.
0-1, in for strike 2. White just 1 pitch away from ending this inning, in which Bourne has scored their 8th run. Only 1 inning have the Bourne Braves been retired, 1, 2, 3. That was back in the 6th. Triolo, the runner, on second. White's 0-2 pitch. And this is hammered foul. Watch out.
How did that get through the net?
It gets through the netting.
It snuck through.
Where the pole and the net don't connect. Just 3 or 4 inches. Inches close to hitting some of the fans. 0-2 pitch from White. Sent foul, this one over the screen, and hits Upper Cape Regional Technical High School.
I think it's just Upper Cape Technical. Is it regional as
It's
well?
regional.
Regional Technical.
I'm the local. You're not.
Is there a Lower Cape Technical?
Yes, there is. In Harwich.
Ah, home of the Harwich Mariners, the Cape Cod Baseball League.
They used to play there at the field.
Oh, really?
Yep. 0-2. Fouled off once more. 3rd straight pitch. Watch out. Fun fact, the soccer field is just over a little bit off of the fence of Dorn Park. I've scored a goal on this field.
Wow. You know, when I played soccer, I would rarely score goals. I was a defensive player, but there was this one time, free kick from midfield, lobbed it over the goalie's head, and goalie was about 5'2".
0-2 pitch is sent past the dive of Baird into left. Triolo being waved home. He scores. 9-2 Bourne. They've scored so many runs, the tomahawk chop is getting old.
Well, I don't think that's because of the runs. I think that it's just because it's getting old. But that was a really impressive piece of hitting by Grant Witherspoon. That ball was at the letters, and he reaches up and slaps it opposite field for a base hit. Witherspoon has 2 base hits today.
There is a correction on the fielding situation. Giovanni Dinkong came in replacing Stephen Kwan in left field. Rather, replacing Kwan in the batting lineup. This one, a little blooper sent to center field, and it falls right in front of Metz, and Radziewicz is on. Third straight base hit in this inning, now first and second. So Giovanni Dinkong is in right field. He replaces Kwan in the order. John Topa moves from right to left. It's always tough, the defensive substitutions here on the Cape.
Oh yeah, they're definitely tough to detect. And the Bourne Braves just got their 15th hit of the day.
Frank German is in the bullpen for Wareham as well. White's first pitch to Prado is up and in.
Tough debut for this guy, Brendan White, on the mound out of Siena. And his Siena teammate is also here. That's Derpich, the first baseman.
Joe Derpich. 1-0. Inside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Always good when you join a new team to have a guy with you that from your college team that you know well and can kind of go along with the ride with. Ben Barrett and William McIver had a similar experience. John Topa and Mason Fioli as well.
2-0 pitch from White. Set to right center, and it falls. They wave home Witherspoon. He scores. 10-2. Radziewicz advances to third. The runner was on second. Anthony Prado in RBI single.
That is the 5th hit of the inning for Bourne. The Gatemen have 5 hits today. Just to kind of show the path of this game and the direction it's gone. It's been lopsided.
Grant Williams swings at the first pitch, a breaking ball fooling the Bourne second baseman. 0-1. There's a lot of Grants here at this ballpark tonight. I know a Grant. I work with this one Grant. He's working the concession stand tonight.
Williams, Witherspoon, Wolfram in the bullpen. Not warming up, but in the bullpen out there.
0-1. Outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Grant that I know actually was supposed to be a temporary contract player for the Bourne Braves. Then he had a knee injury. He couldn't come to camp and instead takes the internship. 1-1. Popped up into right, shallow right field. Running out is Duran, and he can't make the catch. 1 run scores. The second run coming around. He will score as well. 2 more runs. 12-2 Bourne. Grant Williams dipping it into right field. The tomahawk chalk keeps on coming, and it keeps on chopping. And here comes Jim Lawler. See if he makes the pitching change, and he will. 5 runs in the 7th inning. The Wareham Gatemen, for the second straight night, have led up 12 runs. 12-2 ball game here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. They're big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like the balsamic grilled chicken or New England fried shrimp. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Don't miss a minute of this station's pre- and post-game sports talk. Tune in on your smartphone with the Next Radio app. It's live and it's local. Download the free Next Radio app from the Google Play Store today.
When you're sick or injured, you want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgentcare. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgentcare.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen Youth Clinics. The instruction clinics are open to boys and girls between ages 4 and 15. The clinics are a great opportunity to meet and learn from some of the best collegiate players in the country. Clinics are held Monday through Friday, depending on the player's off day. For more information and to sign up your young ball player, visit www.gatemen.org.
Franklin German is your new pitcher out of North Florida. He comes in as Brendan White lets up 5 runs in the 7th. Possibly one more charge to him, as there's a runner on second base. It's Grant Williams. Lyle Lynn at the plate, swings at the first pitch.
I would say that was a bit of a rude awakening for Brendan White entering the Cape League, and just not having anything going for him against a really impressive Bourne lineup today. Gave
German.
up 6 hits.
6'2", 195. Lynn at the plate. This one bounces off McIver. Williams will head to third. You can hear one of the Gatemen players saying, "Eat it." They didn't want McIver to risk throwing down to third base, so Williams advances. A 5-run 7th inning for Bourne. German's pitch outside, 2 balls and 1 strike, and another one 90 feet away for Lyle Lynn, who has 2 RBIs this evening. A sac fly in the 2nd and an RBI double in the 4th. 2-1. Broken bat to Baird, running on the infield, and he lost the ball, couldn't pick it up. Williams will score. 13-2 in favor of Bourne. And now the Braves have officially batted around in the 7th.
Now batting the left fielder, number 1 from Towson University.
And my
Ricky
scorebook
Palacios.
is ruined.
Yep, same here. Although I don't think this game's going to extras, so we have plenty of room to work with.
Be ruled an E6 on Baird, allowing Williams to score. Lynn is at first. Here comes Palacios, who started off the inning. He grounded out to Duran at second base. All of the runs except 1 coming with 2 outs in this inning. Strike 1 taken from Palacios. Now 6 runs in a 13-2 game. This one fouled straight back. No balls and 2 strikes, and German 1 pitch away. Lynn is the runner at first. German out of the stretch. North Florida product. Delivers the 0-2. And he strikes out Palacios. And he finally puts an end to this inning. 6 runs cross the plate en route to a 13-2 ball game here at Dorn Park. Keep it locked into the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Couple new switches here in this ball game. A 13-2 lead for the Bourne Braves. Jacob Tobey with Sam Corman. A new pitcher, Brian Hoeing.
Number 35 from the University of Louisville, Brian Hoeing.
He is the new pitcher. And a pinch hitter, Randy Tavares for the Gatemen. He will replace Kyle Kasser. Tavares out of Marist.
The Foxes.
The Fox takes strike one.
Tavares, of course, wearing number 8 in honor of Nick Angelini.
0-1 pitch to Tavares is outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Hoeing on the season out of Louisville, 1-1 with a 4.26 ERA. His 6th appearance, 15 Ks, 4 walks. This one is in the dirt, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, since you like to say that Kelly Olynyk has no relation to Ryan Olynyk of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks of the Boston Celtics, I have to say that Randy Tavares has no relation to John Tavares, the best hockey player in the world of New York Islanders.
Ball fouled off, 2 balls and 2 strikes. I ignore that comment. You know how I feel about NHL.
Bitter for no
reason. And I know how you feel about the NBA. We're even. Wines kicks and deals the 2-2 to Tavares. Trying to frame it was the catcher Radziewicz, but a bit high. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch is outside, ball 4, and Tavares walks in his first plate appearance with the Wareham Gatemen. Talking to head coach Don Sneddon before this ball game about what are you expecting out of the newcomers, you know, Randy Tavares and guys like that. And he said, really don't know. It's tough to throw them into the fire this late in the season, but depends on game situations. And said it would have been nice to have them last night to throw them into a game like that. Well, last night has been repeated tonight. Jaron Duran stepping in. Good day for him, 2 for 2 with a run scored and a walk. He takes strike 1.
He's been consistent, middle of the order. He had a base hit yesterday, but the day before for Jaron Duran, or excuse me, the day on Sunday against Orleans, Jaron Duran, 2 extra base hits and a single for the cleanup guy.
0-1 on the ground. Williams at second, spins, throws to second for 1, on to first. Not going to catch Duran. He'll reach on the fielder's choice, but still a nice play to retire Tavares at second base. Grant Williams.
No, the right fielder, number 14 from the University of Connecticut, John Topa.
John Topa to the plate. Is 1 for 3. Grounded back to the mound in the second. Singled and stole a base in the 4th. Flew out to center to end the 5th.
I really like how the Cape League finishes its seasons with home and homes with every team.
I do as well.
I think it's good for building rivalries.
First pitch taken outside, 1-0.
You know, probably not going to happen this year in any situation, but you know, sometimes you get situations where you have the home and home followed by a playoff series, so you can often get 4 or 5 games in a row between the same two teams.
Hoeing checked over the runner at first. Does it again. This time it was a closer play, but Duran back safely. Joe Durpich is warming up right now, probably coming in for Jake Anchia at the DH spot. With 1 out, the top of the 8th, a 13-2 lead for Bourne. Topa takes ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. So for the second straight night, Wareham lets the opposing team score 12 runs or more. (2-0) in for strike. Crowd has gotten quiet here at Doran Park. (2-1) from Hoeing is low. 3 balls and 1 strike. Runner on first is Duran. He reached on the fielder's choice. 3-1. Connecting with this one is Topa. Out to right. Going back is Witherspoon. And he can't make the catch. It rolls to the wall. Duran is going to be waved home to score. Topa will head to third. The throw to third is not in time, and it gets past the third baseman, Triolo. One run did score. The second run coming home. The throw not in time. Topa scores as he collides with the catcher, Rajovic. The Gatemen, they score 2. 13-4.
Well, unfortunately for John Topa, that does not count as an inside the park home run, but a good effort. I mean, he was gassed. You could see him. He was just so tired on his way to home. And there was actually a pretty close play there at the plate. And Gatemen get 2 back.
Gatemen get 2 back. 13-4. Top 8. Pinch hitter officially is Joe Durpich out of Siena. Teammate of Brendan White.
Number 36 from Siena College, Joe Durpich. Pinch hitting for Anchia, Durpich.
First pitch to Durpich. Scoots out of the way. 1 ball, no strikes. He's wearing Colton Shaver's old number, 36. Similar body frames.
6'4", 275.
Takes strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Don Snedden said he'll probably see a lot of time at DH. That would be his position. Swings on this one to the first baseman, Schreiber. He'll throw over to his pitcher, Hoeing, and retire Durpich for out number 2.
Now batting, the catcher number 17 from the University of Washington, Willie McIver.
Willie McIver is 0 for 2. Fielder's choice, a walk, a stolen base, and a strikeout swinging. (13-4) lead for Bourne. Curveball breaking before the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Second pitch at the at-bat, taken inside. 2-0. (2-0) pitch, foul tipped into the mitt. Beautiful night, though, for baseball, no matter the score.
Gorgeous.
2-1. McIver connects with it down the right field line. Foul. Thank you for tuning in to the Gatemen Baseball Network. Jacob Toby and Sam Corman here at Doran Park.
Big crowd. Last home game, regular season home game for the Bourne Braves this season, and a great crowd on hand to watch the Braves. To all join in unison for the tomahawk chop.
Swing and a miss from McIver. It's a drop third strike. He's hustling down to first. The throw is in time. McIver strikes out for the second time today, and the side is retired. Gatemen get one run on one hit. On 2 hits. No errors and no man left on base. 13-4 your score on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 17 seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for top-notch baseball training. With over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18 and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more.
Welcome back to the Gatemen Baseball Network. I'm Connor Federico with an in-game update from Hyannis. The Harbor Hawks had the bases loaded with 1 out, strikeout, and then Micah Coffey grounds out from the first baseman to the pitcher, covering the bag. The score remains 7-6 in favor of the Falmouth Commodores. That game is heading to the 9th inning. Soon, this one will be too. Back to Jacob and Sam.
Bottom 8 at Dorn Park. Thank you very much, Connor. Working hard, watching the game everyone's watching if you're a Wareham Gatemen baseball fan. 7-6 lead for the Commodores. Franklin German still on the hill for the Gatemen. Throws a first pitch breaking ball for strike 1 to Scott Schreiber, who has been, in Sam Corman's words, elite tonight.
And lots of Nebraska Cornhuskers fans behind us.
0-1, lofted to the second baseman Duran. He tried to barehand it after he stumbled. He couldn't do so. Schreiber reaches. Some defensive changes here. Randy Tavares is now the shortstop. Ben Baird has moved from short to third, and they'll rule that as a base hit.
Ladies and gentlemen, attention please.
Going back to that score update, a huge missed opportunity for Hyannis in the bottom of the 8th.
From the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley,
And
Atwood, pitching for Hannah Atwood.
You know, Hyannis now probably is going to have to face Ryan Zefferjan, the Falmouth closer, in the 9th, in all likelihood. You know, they might be saving him for the playoffs. But Zefferjan, an elite 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
German throws ball 1 to Andy Atwood. SportsCenter top 10 last week, a couple weeks ago actually, versus the Chatham Anglers. Pitch inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Amazing catch out in center field to rob a home run. One of the best.
Went over the fence.
Yeah, he fell out of the ballpark. 2-0 becomes 3-0. That was the same night, I believe, that Jackie Bradley Jr. for the Red Sox robbed a home run in center field.
Well, who was it yesterday for the Cleveland Indians at Fenway Park, flipping over the bullpen?
Austin Jackson. 3-0 taken for strike 1. Yeah, Jackson falling into the bullpen.
I think Andy Atwood must have called up Austin Jackson and gave him a few lessons from the Oregon State Beaver.
3-1. Inside for strike 2. Atwood made the top 10 for that night on SportsCenter and also for that week on SportsCenter. That's pretty good. 3-2 on the ground through the right side. Back-to-back base hits to lead off this inning off of Frank German. And the pinch hitter Atwood is on base. Jared Triolo, the third baseman,
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please.
will
Pitching
not
for
come up
Triolo,
to the
number
plate.
2 from Santa Houston State, Andrew Freejay.
Andrew
Pitching
Freejay,
for Triolo, Freejay.
pinch hitting. Freejay on the season, 176 in 31 games. Swings and misses at the first pitch. 3 home runs and 11 RBIs. Did play last night at second base, went 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Oh, one is outside. What a response from the Bourne Braves. If the score holds, they snap a 5-game losing streak. Their offense struggling as of late, coming in and putting up 13 runs through 7 innings. Swing and a miss from Freejay, 1-2. And threatening to do more here in the 8th with runners on first and second, no outs, a 13-4 lead for Bourne.
Frank German trying to get a good outing out of this game. Would be nice to see.
1-2, ring 'em up, called strike 3. That strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard. Out number 1 recorded via the strikeout. What?
Did you know that Sable's behind?
First pitch to Witherspoon is taken up high, ball 1. William McIver has moved to first base. Blake Sable now doing the catching, so those two just switch positions. The Spoon takes ball 2, 2-0. Say that because Daniel Bees did that piece, the written piece for the website, the interview. He talked about Grant Witherspoon. That pitch low, 3 balls and no strikes. And the article was also about just how close the Braves bullpen is this season. They've been extremely close. 3-0, taken for strike 1. Bees found out that Witherspoon was called Spoon back at school. Carried the tradition on here at Doran Park. 3-1, on the ground. To second for 1, on to first. The throw is off, but they do get the tag. McIver applies it. Double play will end the inning. We head to the 9th on the Gatemen Baseball Network. 13-4 lead for the Bravos.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen High School Clinics. These programs are run by the Gatemen coaching staff with a focus on exposing high school area players to the college game. To sign up for either the hitting, pitching, or catching camps, visit www.gatemen.org for more information.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. They're big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like their hand-breaded crispy fish tacos with cilantro lime rice. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
Top of the 9th here at Doran Park. Bourne trying to close this one out. 13-4 lead over the Wareham Gatemen. Brian Hoeing still on the mound for Bourne. Last half inning talked about the chemistry of this Bourne bullpen. Daniel Bees continuing to talk about in the article about some of the guys and what they do. Their favorite thing to do in the bullpen is play cards. That is what they do to pass the time out there if they're not warming up or throwing some bullpen sessions. They play cards. And Daniel B. is saying, quote, "The worst cards player is Christian Ryder, hands down."
Wow.
Blake Sable, the batter, swings on the first pitch and sends it straight back to the netting behind home plate.
What kind of cards, though? I mean, you can't just...
A lot of different card games. Kyle Marmon, he says, has the best hair. 0-1, broken bat. Slow roller to the second baseman. Williams on to first for out number 1. And also,
I mean, was this before or after the new addition of Baylor Sundahl, though? Because he might have the best hair now that he's on the team.
This was before the addition. Also, Daniel B. saying that Sean Leland is the player that will always have Dunkin' Donuts at the ready.
At Matt Feld. At me. At Claudia Chikamian.
Ben Baer coming to the plate.
Basically all of us.
Swings at a breaking ball for strike 1. And the team voted. They say Daniel Bees has no doubt the worst beard on the team.
Whew. Wow.
0-1, high chopper to Williams. Second straight play he's gotten in this inning, and he puts away Baird for out number 2. Gatemen down to their final out as we continue to watch this game in Hyannis. A 7-6 lead for Falmouth.
Ladies and gentlemen, attention please.
Hyannis trying to walk it off.
Number 7 from St. Thomas Aquinas
Zephyr Jean
College.
is in for the Falmouth Commodores. And he is pretty difficult to hit off of. He has a 2.57 ERA. So Gatemen fans obviously hoping that Zephyr Jean can shut the door on the Harbor Hawks season.
Giovanni Ding Kong takes ball 1. His first at bat for the Wareham Gatemen. So the new additions get some playing time here. And this lopsided 13-4 lead for the Braves as that pitch is low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0, popped high in the sky. Will it go foul or will it stay fair? The catcher, Rajewicz, makes the catch. That will end the inning and end the ball game. The Bourne Braves beat the Wareham Gatemen by a final score of 13-4. A tough night for the Wareham Gatemen once more. They suffer their second straight loss. They let up 12 runs yesterday versus the Falmouth Commodores. They let up 13 runs tonight versus the Bourne Braves. We send it to Connor Federico real quick for an update.
Hey, Jacob and Sam. Sorry to interrupt the end of the game for you guys. Tough one for the Gatemen, but in Hyannis, there's 1 out remaining for the Harbor Hawks. The time is ticking on their season. Of course, there's no clock because it's baseball. However, they have 2 more outs to work with, down 1 run in the bottom of the 9th in front of their home crowd. Pressure situation. We probably won't get to read the final on this broadcast, but the Gatemen, their chances are looking good.
Thank you very much, Connor. Team shaking hands right now. First game of a home and home series. Mason Fioli hugging Chad Linsman. Both starters today only went 3 innings each for their team, but Linsman is victorious in this ball game. Final thoughts, Mr. Sam Corman. A tough one.
Don't know where to start. I mean, Bourne had 19 hits today. I feel like that sums it up. The Gatemen had 6, and that's all I have to say about this one.
All right. You'll get post-game analysis on YouTube after we wrap up the broadcast. And that will do it from Dorn Park. A 13-4 victory for the Bourne Braves over the Wareham Gatemen. Wareham 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. Bourne 13 runs, 19 hits, and 1 error. Thank you for listening to this broadcast of Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. The general manager of the Wareham Gatemen is Andrew Lang. The producers of today's broadcast are Nick Veronesi and Matt Wieselthaler. Our sideline reporter is Claudia Chikamian. Thanks to our fantastic beat writer and today's host, Matt Feld. Also, Connor Federico, the host as well. Next broadcast of Wareham Gatemen Baseball will be tomorrow as the Gatemen are home to host the Bourne Braves for the final game of the regular season. This starts at 6:30 with the South Coast Pregame Show before the game. For Sam Corman, I'm Jacob Toby. For the final time, the Bourne Braves beat the Wareham Gatemen 13-4. Thank you for tuning in to this presentation of Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.